Oh, that's awesome. Cheese is here. And hello, Marvel guy.
Hello.
My laptop still needs plugging in.
Oh, okay.
And I did your soda can first.
Thank you.
Which button is it?
Yeah, which button is it? Well, now I'm thinking, do I do this or my audio's going out, right? So, wow. My brain is really just, it's that one. It's really like, Hey, Odin, what's going on? Television static. Nothing's going on.
He's all fuzzed out.
Yeah, totally fuzzed out. Brain. So I'm running late, which, makes me feel a little, I gotta be here, but, hey, I'm here. So it's Sunday, and I'm here. So hello, and welcome to the Odin Makes live stream happening every Sunday. Hello, my name is Odin.
Hi, I'm Dan from Dan Does Junk.
And I still can't remember my intro properly, even though I've been saying it for 3 years or 4 years or however long. It's been a long time. Hey, Felicia, how long has it been since we've been streaming? Oh, wait, Felicia's not here. Dan's here today. Sorry, that's not that funny. But no, it's been a while. So I've said this in chat, and for those of you who are watching from my future, thank you very much. Felicia is not going to be here today. She's not going to be here for this particular stream because she's actually got herself out on a real video production. I don't know what she's working on. I'm pretty sure it's not the Leonardo DiCaprio film that's currently shooting in downtown Sacramento. I believe she's working on something else, but I got the best text ever from her on Friday. It's like, hey, can you answer a question really quick? I'm trying to blow up a bank. It's like, this is awesome. This is like the best text message ever. It was a context event question. They were trying to do some sort of effect thing, some sort of in camera, you got the building and then something happens up close to kind of help make it look like the building blew up. I really don't know exactly how it works, but apparently context cement was the answer because context cement is the answer. Get your Atco context cement container at Amazon.com. If I had affiliate links, they'd be in the description. So anyway, she's working and getting paid and living the dream. So I completely support that, and I'm very happy for her, and I'm glad she's out doing that. Fortunately, now you're here. I'm sorry for you. It's great for me. I'm not alone. That's fantastic. But thank you for coming by.
No problem. I'm always happy to come by. So
appreciate that. But of course, this gives us a small bit of a question, right? Because do we continue with what Felicia and I were trying to work on? Which I was talking about it with Shock Rumble a little bit, and I can see and understand and concede that heat apparently is going to be the answer to helping you get those cables to relax. Shock Rumble was talking about how the 5-pin long DMX cables for lighting can develop a memory when they get really cold. So when they sit out in the sun, they warm up. And as they warm up, they actually lose that memory and become easier to move around. The smaller network cables, which is a solid core cable, for me still it's like, is that going to work? And the first thing that came to mind with any kind of heating up the cable is I'm just going to melt the insulation off of it. But with the explanation that Shop Gremlin gave me, it's like, okay, now this works in my head better. Maybe. So I don't know. We can. There's two. I'm looking. They're hanging up on the wall over there. There's two pieces, so we can cut the one free that hasn't been all taped down. Hang that from the ceiling. Put a weight in the bottom, and then hit it with the heat gun and see if it makes the wires calm down and become straighter. Because I think just that alone will improve the outcome of doing anything with it.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
workability.
Yeah, the workability. Yeah. And then we can cover them with Epsilon, which, smells great. It's not that bad, actually. As far as resins go, it's not really toxic, so it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
So we could do that. And once we're done with that, then there's nothing else we can do with it because it's going to be gooey until Tuesday.
Yeah.
It won't be that long. It's Sunday today. It's not going to be that long. It'll be okay by tomorrow morning, but it's not going to be done within the stream. Or I've been working on Chopper's leg as an upcoming video, and I need to have that done for Stockton Con. And which for those of you who aren't in the area, Stockton Con is Saturday, so it's next weekend, right? It's Sunday right now. Next in 5 days is Stockton Con. I kind of want to have it done so this leg can go, and we can actually put it with Chopper, and I get video of him running around, and I can let Chris have it. Because what I really want to do is I really want to let Chris have it. So you catch yourself saying certain things.
Yeah.
Or you brought something.
I think we're gonna do. You were talking about the little side quest thing. That includes Chopper's leg, and in terms of what I'm doing, I mean, it's not really. It's more of like sharing with you guys what I have coming up. So
Yeah.
So I think we can do that. That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
Well, I was also kind of wondering, it's not just sharing. Dan's been working on a large-scale Lego figure, a large-scale Lego minifigure, inspired by the large-scale Legos that I have made, and he's also made in the past. So this is not quite, this is almost 13 times size. It's like 12.91 or 12.94.
12.92 or so, yeah.
It's awesome. He knows better than I do. It's my thing.
This is the very first figure that I made. It's been on your stream before. It was not painted, and then I think I brought it again. It was plastic dip, like a camel green.
Yeah.
So now this is kind of the finished product of what I decided to go with it. I made it a Blacktron 2 figure because this is my childhood for Lego Space.
Right. This is your.
I just wanted the big one of these.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it was a good exercise in terms of like messing around with finishes. Type of thing. Yeah, because like the
It's
Lego
not here. Yeah, the Lego money. Yeah.
The Lego tile that I made, what I used on there, that was 4 coats for the top coat. This is 3 to 4, so I was just experimenting how many I could put on here and how it looks, and it's worked out great. It's an acrylic based varnish, and it's actually quite durable.
Okay, that's a deco art.
Deco art, Duraclear.
Duraclear.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
But yeah, like Odin said, I've been working on another large scale Lego figure, which I
Actually, have here.
It's not done, but it's started. So this one was going to be an Mtron figure, but you and I got contacted.
Yes, we did by the Toy Box. It's a local retailer up here in the Sacramento area, and Renee. Well, the people at Toy Box sell Lego figures, sell Lego minifigures, but they don't sell official Lego minifigures. They sell Lego compatible minifigures, which means they have more characters, more properties available than the official Lego line does. So what they were asking was to get some large-scale figures made so they could take them to WonderCon, which is coming up at the end of March down in Anaheim, California. We're up in Sacramento, up and down being north and south. And so one of the characters they asked for was Voltron, which is a licensed property from Lego, but Lego's never made a Voltron minifigure.
No, they haven't.
Yeah.
So Odin asked me, because they wanted a number of these figures made just to display at their booths for showcasing their business. And Odin had asked me which one I'd be interested in, and I chose the Voltron figure.
Right.
Which he has one here. Let's see, where's your...
Yeah, where's the super close-up? Because this is a minifig. So
you're right there.
Click. Here. So it's probably down... No, it's up here by the hip. Sorry, he may have to... you want to get some... That should be about right. So yeah, it's actually a really detailed figure that they've got. It's Voltron. So the 3 figures they asked for was Voltron, Darth Vader, and Luffy from One Piece. Mm-hmm. So in the next month, I'm going to be working on Darth Vader and Luffy. But, gee, a giant mech? I can't imagine why Dan wanted to do that one. But I think it's really cool. I like the figure a lot.
It's really
the sword, in my opinion, isn't that much of a Lego element. It is. It has a lot more detail and dimension. Mm-hmm. It's more toy-like than I am accustomed to seeing Lego elements. But I don't really hold that against them. But the other parts are pretty cool. The helmet. He's got the wings in the back, which I think the wings were a collectible minifigure piece at one point. And then he's got just print all over. It's print on the sides of both legs, print on the sides of both arms. Mm-hmm. There's print on his back, print on the back of his legs, which that's pretty rare for Lego.
Yeah. So
I think he's really cool. And the helmet is definitely going to be the fun part.
Yeah.
and I guess, see, I never watched the show that much. So is this his shield?
I can't remember. I can't recall. Same as you. I've watched it, but not a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really sure. It's been a while, so.
Yeah, I can't recall the last time I seen an episode.
Yeah.
Probably in the 90s at some point.
Probably, yeah. It's been a bit.
So, yeah, that's the one I'm going to be making. And I kind of looked out because in wanting to make this an Mtron figure, the legs are white, the hips are black, the body is red.
Right.
And the head I had just made yesterday. So this is a brand new head. It's black, but I can still paint it whatever color I want.
Right. Well, it's gonna be dark gray anyway. So
yeah,
that's great.
It's got some blue and some yellow, but yeah, it's a great starting base to make this figure.
Absolutely is. So, sorry, distracted. Actually, I wanted to look at the comments for a minute. Sorry.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm looking at my clock, which still doesn't have a battery. How are we on time? Oh, we got 10 minutes. So because we're looking at making 3 figures, ultimately 5. After WonderCon, he also wants a Boba Fett and this the younger sister from Demon Slayer, which I don't know her name. Sorry. So there's more figures. I intend on making all these into videos, right? What I've been working on is, and I was going to work on that yesterday, but I got sidetracked with house chores. I wanted to get a leg laser cut because I've been working on making. Dan shared with me his pattern, but I've been working on making a pattern that I can use the laser cut machine, and it looks like I can make a full set of legs and the hips almost completely from laser cut parts. With you've got a stiffener in here, right?
Yeah, I have a piece of Sintra in there.
You have a piece of Sintra? Okay, so I'm looking at using a. You can't cut PVC with the laser, so I'm looking at using plywood. But
Okay.
if I put a 3mm piece of plywood across the top of the hips here to keep them flat, and then a vertical one in the hip joint, and then you can key the two of them together, I figured that'd do a lot for them.
Yeah, I mean whatever
I
you
want
can
to
use to just make it stiff.
Okay, and then the pieces you use for the legs, I can pull them apart, right?
Yeah, they come off.
It's just thin-walled 3/4 inch pipe.
Yes.
So, which I think is pretty genius, because this is completely Dan's creation, right? Let's get his head out of the way. This is completely Dan's creation. I mean, I started making big Legos, but Dan's the one that completely figured out this method for making figures, which works. And this method, this style is what caught Toy Box's eye. So that's it. Thin wall 3/4 inch. And then you actually put a little bit of like hockey tape or sports grip tape inside of this guy to help stiffen it up. It seems like.
He was getting loose.
Okay.
So I decided to do that because, well, he's kind of pretty much finalized. I might do more and actually maybe lock those pieces into place.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. So they don't come back apart again?
Yeah. Or not, just so I can blow up a minifig.
Play with them?
Yeah.
The other thing he's got on this one that, I can turn around and show you their butts. This guy, it's only the wall of his leg is the only thing that the PVC pipe's going through. But on this one, it's not only that, but he's also got a ring of foam on the inside for a little more friction to help hold things together. And then you did the same thing for the arms, right? Sorry, Voltron.
The arms, I pretty much just added another piece of foam on the inside of the body just to thicken it.
Right.
And that depends on the thickness of foam that you want to use for the body. If you want
that
to
makes
use
sense.
6 or 10 millimeters. So.
I'm probably going to do 6.
Yeah. And then you can just add another plate of foam with a hole in it just to thicken it.
Okay. And then again, it's just the thin-walled 3/4. Nothing. And then for the hands, which you had... You can kind of... If you want to be nitpicky, you can kind of see a hint of the cardboard core, but you were saying the hand was cut from a heavy-duty cardboard tube, and you've even got the flat thing on the top. I remember you being very excited about that, which I'm impressed by. But the hands fit together with PVC pipe, which this looks like it's thick-walled.
Yeah, it's 1 inch thick wall and
1 inch thick wall. Okay.
3/4 inch thin wall still. This one I split with my bandsaw to take away some material so I can close it up and to make it fit into the 1 inch thick wall, because normally they won't fit together.
Yeah, pipe doesn't do that. Unfortunately, boy, I wish it did.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. So that may what I'm looking at. So what I'm thinking about with these parts for the giant figure that doesn't exist yet. I've been talking to Smooth On, the local Smooth On rep, and what I really want to do is cast this arm. and the other arm that's the other side. And then the hands. And I'm still trying to debate if it's going to be the same cut down for every hand, which really isn't that hard to do, right? To prep those. Which probably I think I will. I've been overthinking it. It's like, do I want to do that? Do I want to do half inch? Do I want to do compact PVC? And the reason why all these things are a lot of questions for me is, I'm personally looking at making 4. Dan's going to make 1 at least, so that makes 5 for Toy Box of these giant figs. So that's 5 more to do, right? And Dan had told me when he first did the arms, these are custom sculpted from...
just sculpted by hand with solid kneeling pad foam, and each arm took an hour to do. So.
Right. Not that bad, but 5 figures?
Yeah.
That's 10 hours of sculpting, and then they all have to kind of look the same. And then I want a couple figures, and Dan's already working on 2, and he wants to do more. Yeah, let's cast the arm.
Yeah, that'll be way faster.
So, I was talking to Joe, and we're going to be using Flex Foam 25, Flex Foam 20. I think it's Flex Foam 25, which only expands twice the size. So if you pour an ounce of fluid, it'll only foam up to 2 ounces.
Okay.
Which makes it really dense. And in the video, you can see the person who mixed it up, and when she poured it into the clear container, she's pressing on it. It's causing her finger to bend back, and it's not really compressing that much.
Oh, okay. So it actually becomes quite sturdy.
Comes quite sturdy. It may not be as stiff as this, but it shouldn't. Of course, if we figure out, okay, this is going to take 4 ounces of foam, so we pour in 2.5 ounces of fluid and put, they call it back pressure. So you got a mold, and then you pour and you put the lid on, and you put a weight on the lid so it really can't escape. You want to give it a small vent, but it can't. And that creates back pressure where it's actually trying to foam into a larger space, but it doesn't have it, and that makes the foam denser.
Oh, okay.
So that is possible to do. And something to look at. But and then the hands, I actually was looking at casting with the black ones are easy because I see the black arm, so I think black. There's a product called Task 13 or Task 14. It is a black, rigid urethane flexible. It's not a foam material that's used a lot for rubber safety props in productions, and that's what I was looking at casting the hands with. And I was trying to ask Joe, okay, so Task only comes in black, and this is great. And one of them you can demold in like an hour. But what do I do for like Luffy's pink hands? Right? I don't really want to try and paint pink over black. But Joe's trying to tell me that they've got So Strong paints now, and that apparently will cover the black. And cover pink over black, which I'm like skeptical as I'll get out.
It'll work on that material?
It'll work on that material.
Okay.
The So Strong paint will bond with not only the urethane hands, but the the foam that I want to use,
Okay.
to such a point that the foam will tear and then the paint will.
That's some pretty durable paint then.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this paint. So talking with him, it's been a back and forth, busy, weird week. As I've talked with him twice, haven't quite nailed things down, but that's what we wanted to do. And the other thing that I was looking at was casting the head, right? Because why not cast a head? Same thing. This is all flat and easy to build.
Yeah, just boxes.
And I'm totally going to cast the air tanks, but don't tell Dan. Because there's like classic air tanks in the back, right? So classic space fan, and that's what I want is a couple of astronauts. So yeah,
That wasn't too hard to make actually.
That
And
wasn't-
I do
okay.
have that pattern and video out as well.
okay. I
Yeah.
should probably watch that. So maybe I'll make one first and decide if I want to bother casting it because I only want like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Probably 2 because I want like a red and a white one. The classic 2 for me. Those are the first colors I had for the classic space
All right.
fix.
Yeah.
Well, there's the head. I was thinking about casting the head, which again, maybe that's not that hard to do. And that's one of the side quests. Coming back around to what we started talking about well over half an hour ago, while we were still private. Let's go over to edit and go to public. Done. And we'll go ahead and throw it in the Ghostbusters because, whatever. Oh, no, that's not what we want. So this is me selecting playlists. There we are, there we are. There we are again, because I double clicked. There we go. That's weird. That's not what I wanted. Oh, that's just been up for a while. Rating. Hi! It's not like a sudden ton of people showed up. One of the other side quests I was looking at, what I was talking about a little while ago, was maybe asking Dan, do you have the thoughts and abilities to actually make another head? I have a kneeling pad and I have other foam. Do you remember the bits and pieces? I'm not sure if I've got a... you gave me a hard copy of the pattern.
Yeah.
Which is safe, not here. I'm not sure if I ever scanned that or not, but at the same time, we could possibly reverse engineer it, but
Yeah. I mean, I still have my original cardboard patterns from when
Okay.
I made this one. The
Right.
First one. And that's what I used to make this one. I made this yesterday.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
How long?
Oh.
Okay. I know it's one of those things
Maybe.
that you just you want to go out in the shop and space out and enjoy what you're doing and not
Yeah,
worry
exactly.
about time.
And I was watching your streams while I was doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, for the head though, the top and bottom, these round parts here, this is solid kneeling pad foam.
Right.
It's like the easiest way to do these parts.
For sure. Which
The face here is just a cylinder of foam, just craft foam. Yeah, this is that.
yeah, this is a Harbor Freight kneeling pad foam. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry.
then
And
The neck is just a ring of 10mm foam, which if you have this already, just find out how much
that
you
is,
need
and
to
then
wrap.
right, and then just do this, and either just cut a ring or you just did a wrap. Which okay,
Yeah, it's simple enough to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to figure out like how long this piece is. I think I got it to maybe 221mm
221
with 10mm foam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I brought some. I'm actually quite. I personally am excited about building a head, but
If you want to.
actually I do.
Yeah. And then the Lego bump. The way I make these, I just use 2-inch inner diameter cardboard tube
Okay.
and wrap it with 2mm foam.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the bump is just okay.
Yeah, that's it. I have this at 25mm, and I use 5mm craft foam, so I cut the tube to 20mm. Stick
Okay.
the craft foam on top to cap it, and then I wrap the 2mm foam around the whole thing.
Okay.
So
Cool.
they're actually, that's like easy to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And so this is a round of this material.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else in? Oh no.
No, it's squishy.
So this is. I never tried to squish this because I want to make the paint crack.
Yeah, but it's,
I always thought there was a cardboard in here.
you can put something in there
But it's just gonna have
if you
weight.
want. Well, it's
Okay.
if you want.
No.
Just to avoid it to, I mean, yeah, this one, because of all the paint and finishing and all that, it's a lot sturdier.
Okay.
That's amazing how much it can makes a difference from just raw foam.
Right. I want to build a Lego head.
No Lego head.
Eventually get back to making videos. Yes. I look over and I see Marvel guys quoting Felicia, so of course I just clue in on eventually. I want to make a Lego head, so real quick, everyone, if you don't want to watch me and Dan make a Lego head or two, sing out. Let's go ahead and get back to taking a look at some of the comments, because one of the best parts about doing a live stream, which I have been ignoring for the past, I'm still looking at a clock that doesn't work, for the past 45 minutes, is interacting with you. The whole reason to do a live stream is to talk to the people who want to watch me, talk to your audience, to interact with your fans. And I've actually trying, like Joe Gillis, trying to make his book, and he's talking to the book authors, and he says the one thing that everyone says I've been doing all along, which is live streaming for the sake of interaction, talking to other people. It's like, really? Isn't that the point? So, all right. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
We nerd out on stuff.
Yeah. So for everyone who's popping in that isn't aware, just in case nothing's been said, Felicia's not here today. Felicia's not going to be here today. She's out on a video shoot today. She's got herself a paying side job. And I have, since day one, tried to stress to her, you get anything like that, you just call me up and say, hey, I got work. It's like, you bet, no problem. See you next time. Dan is here as a volunteer. Felicia has been here for years, every single stream, as a volunteer. So in no way do I want to stop her from going and doing something that could be a lot of fun and actually gets her paid. Jerry Can Cosplay has jam in his beard. I didn't catch the beginning part, but that's the first thing I saw, and I just want to... Yeah, that's gotta suck. Fan Film Industry says, Proton Pack? Well, we've been working for years now on building a Proton Pack out of foam. There's one hanging in the wall here behind me. But it's going to be a side quest today because my co-host who usually helps me do that isn't here today. Although I think Dan was willing to work on it, but Legos are here, and I'm really excited about these guys.
We should build a Ghostbusters Lego fig. That would be cool.
Not going to lie. That's occurred to me. Walker Industry says, it's not every day you get on a live stream and see giant Legos.
So, only on Odin Street. That's why I'm here, too.
Yeah, it is. So a few years ago, I got inspired to make the classic Lego torch. Mm-hmm. So this is literally what Lego calls it. It was a torch piece. It's like a handhold thing. It isn't necessarily a blaster. Let me just be really kind of... But obviously we all use them like that. But this is just a real classic space element to me. And this classic version has been replaced recently, so it's ever so slightly different now. But I determined a scale that I wanted to do when I made this piece, which was to have the cylinders here be 42 millimeter. Mm-hmm. I'm going to check with him.
That's right.
And and so with doing that, I then proceeded to make the megaphone piece, which the two pieces do work together, even though my original piece isn't perfectly round. And then later on, I ended up making the lightsaber element, which that too works. So this became fun to me, and it's still fun. Yeah. And these things are always a huge hit at cons. I just lay them out, and it's never a, no, you can't touch that. And so there's constantly kids playing with, and adults, these giant Legos, building bazookas, putting things together, having fun with them. And hey, Rare. It's kind of like a mechanical version of the Vulcan mind meld. There we are. So, that was actually pretty good. This one's gotten more abuse, so the inside is loose. But and of course the hands are made in such a way that yes, they can hold the torch. Mm-hmm. Everything is made to work as much as possible, to the point that Ben Eady, mm-hmm. Who I managed somehow to meet online. Love you, Ben. Ben Eny, who, you've seen him on Tested. You've seen him on the behind-the-scenes making of Ghostbusters Afterlife. The guy works on Hollywood productions, and he literally called me up and asked what my dimensions were. And he 3D printed the bullhorn piece as well, only he made the handle slightly longer so it was better for a human, which I can appreciate that. I was trying to be specific to the figure. Mm-hmm. And then he made, I don't have one here, but he made the pip with flame element, right? There's like the fire element, which I guess actually isn't really accurate, but that's what he made. At a transparent, translucent, whichever, orange. And then that gave me a translucent orange pip that I can put on this to make the actual original Star Wars blaster for Legos, which that made me really happy. But it was fun, and it's really odd to here's a guy who helped build the gimbal sets so Star Trek's Enterprise and hallways could tilt and move in Star Trek Beyond, right? This is what he did. He's calling me up and being excited that I answered the phone for him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Love you, Ben. And then way back in the beginning of this Proton Pack build, Ben chimed in at one point and gave us some information about what he did for packs, specifically weird things that he saw on set that ended up happening. They at one point they needed to shorten a hose for one of the neutrino ones, and he reasoned, well, we'll just cut it shorter and I'll just wrap it together with gaff tape because whatever, this is all, the way it is, right? The Ghostbusters are just going to make stuff work. It's not all going to be perfect. And then he's seeing Ghostbuster, local Ghostbusters with the gaff tape on their tube, and he's getting that feeling that I had with Ben Wants to Talk to Me. He's like, they're copying what I did, but what I did was just a practical solution. It wasn't like a design element. So that was fun. And so this giant Lego thing has been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to making more parts. I do intend on making videos about the process of making the pieces, but I think for right now, I just want to make a head.
Okay.
And I had a point. I think I was talking about the other parts. I just got sidetracked. I drank caffeine and talked. Highly recommend a brand deal if you can get one. Bella's asking about more Mighty Morphin Power Rangers weapons. Yep, they are in the wheelhouse. They are definitely a desire to do. Nimbleus says Lego helmets seem cool, but how about helmets? Yes, Dan and I both eventually want to make helmets. Dan wants to make Blacktron 2. I want to make Classic Space, which means the helmets are slightly different. Mm-hmm.
Yours is going to be easier.
Unfortunately, yeah. The Classic Space helmet looks like Benny's helmet, the one that's got the cracked chin, where it's a straight cylinder with a rounded top. Mm-hmm. There really isn't much more to it than that. The chin strap's a little funky, and it all depends on what version of that helmet I want to make. The original one that came out in '79, the chin strap was just the same thickness as the walls of the helmet, but they broke a lot, and why Benny's is broken in the Lego movie, which is 10 years old now. Mm-hmm. And so they made what I called a thicker chin strap, which they just increased the molds, right? Which made it a thicker piece of plastic. That's probably what I'm going to do, because that's what most of them are. And that's what the current ones are. Okay. And so that's, I want to make a helmet because I want to make a classic Lego Space minifigure, and then I want to make vehicles for him. Really, but Dan wants to do, when Blacktron came out. That was at the time that the classic Lego Space evolved to Futuron and Blacktron, and they had the new, more human style motorcycle helmet. So this is, got just more of an egg shape. It actually has a visor that clicks in. Yeah,
and it tapers down to the bottom a bit.
Yeah.
Just like how a motorcycle helmet is.
It is a way more organic piece.
Yeah. So I had thoughts in terms of how I was going to do that. I actually got the materials already.
Oh, yeah?
I was just going to make... I was just going to use like styrofoam just to shape the helmet, and then grab a pattern off of that.
Good old-fashioned Evil Ted way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. No, that makes sense. Either styrofoam or even floral foam from a craft store.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've worked with that before, but that can
it's
work. Yeah.
messier. But
It's okay. If it's messier, then skip it.
I remember you had mentioned on one of your streams, like, another way to do it is to make it solid.
Right. Make a solid head.
Yeah. If I were to do that, I would probably integrate a head into it already.
Oh, make the helmet solid. Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would have the face already in it.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That would work. I don't want to do that for mine because ultimately mine's going to be a hands-on piece at a convention and someone's going to want to take the helmet off.
Yeah.
So
I won't do that either, but if I were to make it solid, that's what I would do.
Okay, that's cool. When you get the helmet done, I am happy to help you make the visors.
At least with the visor, it's just flat.
Right.
And
but
it's just curved, but that's it.
But it's going to be that funky green acrylic that Tap thankfully sells.
Yeah.
It's kind of I believe Lego classifies the color as translucent neon green.
Yeah, something like that.
But they Tap sells a plastic in that color, 1/8 of an inch thick, which is pretty much 3 millimeter. And it is a type of plastic that refracts the lights that hit the sides, so it glows out the edges.
Yeah.
Which the Lego piece doesn't quite do, but almost.
It looks like the Lego piece does that because it's so small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
It's small, so the light travels a certain distance through the material.
Yeah.
And being that small, it looks like it's all lit up.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's because it's just a piece this way, which will require heat forming.
Yeah.
And then probably just a couple of either we can get Tap cells hemispheres, which I can't remember the name they have them. There's a particular name to them that looks like habanero, but it's not. Since I don't know how to pronounce it, I can't remember what it is. But they sell these hemispheres, which is effectively what the Lego ones are. That can just be glued in with well on for. Let me drop names, or we can just cut a second set or third set of cylinders from the same green, and just glue those on, and then they just inset to a divot within the helmet, so it does the thing.
Being this large scale, we can make it so it's like very similar or the same as Lego does it, where it's just like a bump or a divot that snaps together. I'm not sure if I want to accommodate the scale because it's going to be heavy, it's going to be bigger, it's going to have more weight.
Okay.
Maybe like snap buttons or something.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure that it does click on and it'll still function.
Right.
But I don't know. This is what's on my mind.
Okay, that's cool. I get
thinking
that.
about it.
I'm trying to be a purist. I fail, but that's where I start.
A purist who makes Lego pieces out of foam. It's all good.
Walker Industries says it would be interesting to get a giant Lego Odin Makes minifigure in the Lego Feud. Yes, it would be interesting. Steve D says I have all the non-Lego versions of all the Ghostbusters figures. Not gonna lie, Dan and I were just talking about making large-scale Ghostbuster figures.
That'd be really cool.
Marble Guy is asking DDJ, do you laser cut your pieces or do you hand cut them out?
So I don't have a laser cutter or engraver. This is all by hand, all cut out by hand. The only thing that I do with the boxes is for the panels, I cut 45s into them with my bandsaw. Yeah. But other than that, it's just all done by hand. So no laser cutter, not yet.
Not yet. I haven't given him one yet. And for so I'm super laser cutter guy. So is Ben Eady. They're just a lot of fun. But what I have learned over the past couple of years of working with them is that they're only faster if you're going to be cutting out more than one. So cutting out a minifigure and then months later cutting out another minifigure, cardboard pattern and by hand, is going to take the same or less amount of time than setting up the laser cutter. Setting up the files, especially on a slightly more complex piece. Even though this isn't complex, a slightly more complex piece. So you're taking into account how thick the foam is going to be. You have to take into account how thick the laser is going to be when it cuts the foam, and the fact that the foam is going to shrink because you're using heat to cut it. All these things. I have spent 8 hours, 9 hours patterning out the leg.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at cutting out, 10 legs, so that's going to be worth it. But if I was only going to cut one, do it by hand, because it's all square cuts practically.
Yeah. The legs and the body don't actually take a lot of the time by hand.
Okay.
It's the sculpting, like the head and
Right.
the arms, and that's what takes more time.
Okay, I believe that. I saw another good question over here from Lone Bomba Guy. Hey Odin, when are you going to get back to weekly bills? I miss seeing them on Monday or Wednesday. I'm actually working on a video. I had a major life event that took a long time to fully finish. And it really hasn't, but it has. Basically, I got divorced, and there's a huge everything that goes along with that. And there were elements of not putting videos out that was the best idea to go along with being divorced. And there's a whole lot more than just that. There was this whole mental breakdown that I really don't want to talk about that goes along with why I wasn't getting videos out. But I'm working on an astromech leg strut that'll be used with Chopper from Rebels and Ahsoka. I'm going to cough. And what I'm doing is we're imitating a particular episode of the show Rebels, where Chopper finds a leg that matches his good leg, and he runs around with it. So we want to do that, but we want to make the leg a donation box for the charities that the guy I'm working with, who's made a full-size remote-controlled chopper that kind of looks like the one from Ahsoka. So he can do this, right? Which sound like fun to me. So I'm working on that. I need to get that leg done before this weekend, and I'm trying to do a video for that. So I'm going to finally have a video come back out. The ultimate plan, in between everything else, all behind the scenes, let's just say that YouTube was no longer viable to support me and my family as a sole income source. So I had to get a day job. And now that I've got a day job, I won't be able to go back to weekly videos because doing a weekly video is a full-time day job. So I'm going to go to, I was hoping maybe 2 a month, and that would be fantastic. Chances are it's going to be about once a month, maybe 10 a year. It's going to be get them out as soon as I can get them out. I don't think it's going to be anything like it was before. But I want to have videos come back out. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy interacting with you guys. I just don't like writing them. That's about the only part I really don't like. And then so I've been saying this for months. It's not fair. I've got a couple that have been sitting, languishing in the to-do pile. Because I do. I've got like 3 or 4 videos that are just sitting there.
Yeah. Never Reddit Land is a real place.
Yeah. Never Reddit Land. It's absolutely a real place.
Yeah.
But so yeah, they will come back. Smash Up Mashups. Yes, I have seen the Deadpool Wolverine trailer a few times.
Jerrycan Cosplay. Hey, I'll write your videos if you edit mine.
Ha! You gonna write yours? Jay Perry, love Chopper. Excited to see this new prop. Yeah, me too. It's cool. It's here. I'm gonna walk over and get it if you want to see where I'm at on that. Marvel Guy is still trying to push YouTube Premium, which is awesome. Thank you, Marvel Guy. I don't know if he's pointing it out here, but not only do you skip ads, but everyone who's a YouTube Premium watcher, as a YouTuber, he doesn't today, but on our channels, we actually get paid more for your views. There's a basic rate for the public who's watching who gets to see ads. But if you are a premium user and you watch somebody on YouTube, not only do you as the user skip the ads, but us as the creators get a larger percentage, get a larger payment for your watching. That's what I'm trying to say. Because money is all part of this. I don't do this for money. anymore. But you know,
Same.
yeah. If I was to funnel hundreds and thousands of dollars into this channel because it's fun, I would have to quit because I don't have that kind of money. I like Moon Eyes 2K's. I don't know where this is fitting into this conversation because I'm not paying attention to chat. But Moon Eyes 2K is pointing out that the first cup or groin guard protector was used in hockey in 1874, but the helmet for hockey wasn't mandatory until 1979. So this says everything about hockey players.
Interesting.
Nimblues is asking about the Lego yes, good eyes.
Yes.
What we were talking about before we went public, which we're going to do a really quick recap here for some of you. Dan and I are making a pair of custom giant Lego figures for somebody we know here locally, and they had asked, this is kind of for their business, for these guys. The one here is Voltron.
Can we grab the others?
Yeah, go ahead and grab the other ones. We didn't show them before.
Yeah.
So yeah, now what it is, I believe the business name is the Toy Box. He does not have an online presence, but he sells at cons. He sells Lego compatible minifigures. So these aren't official Lego minifigures, even though Lego has a Voltron license because they made a set. They didn't make the figure. So this is a not Lego Voltron minifigure that is completely compatible with the Lego line. I believe you can change out all the body parts, like pop this leg off and put on a real Lego leg, and everything works. So Dan is working on Voltron in that giant size. I'm going to work on Luffy, who also is not a Lego brand, right? They don't have a Lego brand. They don't have the
One Piece.
The One Piece license. And then he asked for Darth Vader, but specifically wants this Darth Vader, which I don't know if you guys can see. He is very different than the official Lego. He's got a lot more going on. He's bulkier. He's standing on a 1x2 plate to make him taller. He has the multi-piece helmet, which is cool, right? Because his upper helmet and the jaw piece is still on there. But there's a hard plastic cape. So kind of like the newer Batman Lego minifigs. So there's this hard plastic sculpted cape. Then he's got an armor piece. Come on. One of the issues with the non-Lego brand is they don't have as much clutch power. So Lego's made armor pieces before, but this one's actually got like Vader Return of the Jedi details on it, which I think is really cool. So this has got all relief sculpting on it. So this is it's non-trivial stuff.
It's not just a print.
It's not just a print.
Oh, that's really cool.
So then the body's print and very detailed with printing on the arm and the back. So there's a lot of and the sides. So there's a lot of painting there. And then there's a molded. Sorry, it's just all meat fingers. You have the legs, and there's a molded skirt piece because especially in Jedi, Vader's actually got kind of a secondary cape skirt piece that he's wearing. So I'm used to seeing fabric versions of these on official Lego figures. I don't know of any that are hard molded like this, but that doesn't mean they don't exist, just that I haven't seen them.
I've actually never seen any kind of piece that goes in between there like that. Between the body and the legs.
Some of the collectible figures have a tail piece. They're almost always like a softer rubber piece. But there's because it has this same figure 8 cut, and then it has like a raccoon tail or a lion tail or the dinosaur tail. I've seen those. And then Batman had a utility belt. So it was a yellow piece that had the pouches.
Oh, okay.
But those are the only hard pieces that I've seen. And even all of those are still, they're rubberized. They're flexible. And then he's standing on a, which you really can't see. There you are. Get a reflection on that. A 1x2 tile that's stuck to this 3x4 plate, just to make him a little bit taller. So yeah, this Vader is not trivial. Because originally he says, I want Darth Vader. And I'm thinking, oh, it's a plain figure of the Darth Vader head. Yeah, that's cool. I'd love to do that. And then he brings me the figure. Oh, this has got a lot more detail going on than I thought.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I kind of got excited by it. So
there's like 5 different accessories on him.
Oh, yeah. By the time you're done, most of the minifig's hidden. And, of course, he's got his lightsaber, which, thankfully, we never talked about electronics. So, at least for WonderCon, he's going to get a static lightsaber. Some point in time in the future, it might be really nice and get him a light-up one. But for WonderCon, it's going to be static.
That's fine because the figure it is.
Yeah, because the figure it is static.
Like Voltron, I can make the eyes light up if I want, but no, it'll just be painted.
Yeah, it'll just be painted, right? Just
I hope he's not watching. Ideas.
He's probably not. But at the same time, for you and I, that would be cool. It'd be fun. It would be with all the extra pieces on Vader. There's enough thickness there. I could make his chest pieces light up, right? Not gonna, but I could. So there's these 3, and these are the 3 that we're trying to get done by the end of March, which is really scary close. And then after that, I mean, it's not really right. I mean, I try to remind myself this. So we've got 3 figures. We'll cut back to these because it's fun. So I got these 3 figures, and oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. Yeah, but Dan said he'd do Voltron. Yeah. So okay, so I can ignore Voltron. So I got these 2 to do. But Vader's a ton of work. Yeah, but Luffy is just the hat.
Hat and hair.
Well,
piece.
I guess he's got his hairpiece too.
Yeah.
But that's it, and the rest is paint. So once I get a minifig body made, it just becomes cutting out frisket, cutting out in stencil pieces, getting them all cut together, and looking really closely at the hat while it sits at an angle on the minifig's head. It is it's symmetrical. It's just a bunch of it's basically cones if I look at it. So I'm pretty sure I can use my truncated cone pattern that I love all the time.
And just layer
train and just layer it up. And then I just have to glue the peg on the inside offset so it fits right on Luffy's head. And the toy box guy was even saying he's not worried if the hat is separate from the hair. If it's just all one piece, he doesn't care.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice, but let's be honest, I'm gonna torture myself. So then there's Vader, which is both scary and not scary. Honestly, the face and the chest is scary. All this draping stuff, not so much. This is because I've done something like this before. This is probably gonna be a couple of layers of 2mm glued together so it holds its shape.
Yeah.
So these are the first 3 that he wants, and then he wants a Boba Fett, and this Boba Fett has got loads of extra stuff too. Including the little cape, which should be a shoulder cape, but he put it on like a cape. And then the sister from Demon Slayer. We're getting back to yet another non-Lego character. And she's kind of cool because her hair is 2 different pieces. So her hair actually plugs into a hole in her head, which that's going to be something specific to do to the figure.
Yeah.
Then her bangs are a separate piece, and the bangs incorporate her gag, her bit, or whatever it is.
Whatever's in her mouth.
Yeah, the piece of it in her mouth. I've seen the first 2 episodes. They were great. Demon Slayer was a great show, but I never finished watching it. I watched the 1 episode. I made the one sword. I enjoyed it, but it didn't grab me. But I will never say it's a bad show because it's not. It was a really, really good anime. So ultimately, this is the plan. And then, of course, you want to make Blacktron too, and I want to make Classic Space. So and if Toy Box gets these, he may likely ask for more. And should be fun. Should be a lot of work.
I'm sure he'll have like the biggest smile when he finally sees these.
Oh yeah.
And then people might ask, "Are those for sale?" They're like, "Go ask."
Yeah,
that guy over there.
That's exactly what he's going to do. Some of the really old Lego have the belt thing attached between the torso and the legs. Yep. Schultz Division. Ralph Morrick says, got about 80% of the editing done. Gonna send the V-hooks to Odin this upcoming week.
Nice.
So what is this comment about? I'll explain in a second. Then when I get Odin's footage, I complete the editing. The video will be posted on Discord first. Ralph, only two live streams ago, I I was talking to Felicia about the V-hooks that go on the Proton Pack, right? This is the hook where you have the wand, and you click it on the pack, and you let go, and the wand and the tubes and everything else hangs off this. We didn't know 100% how to do it, and we were just kind of letting that be a future problem. Chris from Lost Wax Oz, when he built his foam pack, he made his V-hook out of pieces of wood and a flattened thing of PVC pipe, right? Totally will work. We're talking to the 916 Ghostbusters, some of the local Ghostbusters, and they were saying none of them are willing to trust a 3D printed V-hook because fear of it breaking just from use. And so I just kind of say in the live stream, yeah, it'd be really kind of cool to cast them out of aluminum because da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, Ralph was watching, and he just perked right up, oh, cast from metal? Hey, I can cast whatever you want from metal because I'm a metal casting god! No, he didn't say that. But he is. So I got him the pieces. He's actually cast up, I think, 4 sets of V-hooks. And, trying to get him some footage from me in order to help him with his video. And very excited about having these V-hooks show up here so Felicia and I can look at them and play with them because they are just solid cast aluminum, which is just really, really freaking cool. Thank you, Ralph.
And he says 4 sets indeed.
Yeah, Ralph, 4 sets indeed. Nice. Schultz Division is asking, are these videos being made for these Lego builds? Because it's very interesting. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna be building the figure, and I'm gonna break that down and make. As soon as I get the one I'm working on now done, it's gonna be. Sorry, guys, you're gonna see a lot of Lego minifig builds because it's what I'm doing.
I'm not complaining.
Oh, that's good. Welcome to the Odin Makes Giant Lego Build channel. So yeah, no, there'll be videos for those. So Dan will do Voltron. Mm-hmm. If Dan wants to do the sister from Demon Slayer or Boba Fett, he's welcome to. I'm not going to stop him if he wants to build another one. And if he doesn't, that's fine too. I don't know if he's heard that before, but he has now.
Yeah, I'll see which one. That's fine.
And totally, I'll try and send as much traction and traffic to his channel as I can.
Yeah, and why not? It's a collab build with Odin.
There you go.
When does that happen with anyone? That's awesome.
Thank you. 4 sets indeed. Nice. Greetings and salutations. I can't wait for your video, Ralph. Yeah, me too. Ace, it's going to be a really cool video. And Chakram was talking about how they ordered a custom Odin and Chakra minifigs from Minifig Me. So there's a website called Minifig Me that they do the printing onto real Lego pieces. And so, yeah, Shop Gremlin had some custom figures made. Minifig Me is great because you can get the Terminator, you can get Ash from Evil Dead, you can get Gordon Freeman from Half-Life. These are figures that I've ordered so I can remember them. But they also have lots of a lot of the Doctor Who characters. They have Star Trek characters. They have on and on and on, and they're willing to do custom prints. So they're not the only ones, but I've been really happy with Minifig Me or Minifigs? Minifig Me. Singular. So not going to be afraid to. Yep, I ordered from them. Don't be afraid. Order from them. So now it's Odin Bricks. Not in the computer sense. That's what the channel's been for the past years. Odin's Bricked. Alrighty. So what I wanted to talk to Dan about the Sidequest thing now that we're an hour into babbling, building ahead. So if we wanted to build one of these things, we would start with this piece? Or what
yeah, I started with these rounds first because they're most time consuming.
Fair enough. So this is the
kneeling pad foam.
Kneeling pad foam, okay.
And I'm trying to remember off the top of my head because on my cardboard pattern I did write measurements, but we can measure up this as well.
Okay.
I think the thickness that I cut it to was like 23 millimeters.
Okay. So you just bandsaw cut it down to get the texture off?
Yeah, if it'll fit through your bandsaw. That's the fastest way. It won't fit through mine, so I actually used a Ryoba Japanese wood saw.
Oh, okay.
And cut it by hand. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I took my palm sander and just sanded the crap out of it to smoothen everything up, but it worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's just 2 of those. Mm-hmm. Oh, so there really isn't. Let me stick the finger in his head. I I'm used to Lego heads where the inside diameter is consistent all the way up to the end, but it's not. It's it's just the 6 mil thickness. Okay, 6 or 4.
That's 5, I think.
Oh, okay.
I grabbed a piece
just
from
grab what
somewhere,
you had.
under my table.
Yeah, I want to make one of these.
Yeah.
So this should be enough, right?
I believe this is 128 millimeters diameter.
Okay.
So what have we got here? Yeah, it'll fit on this.
Yeah, it'll fit on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just need 2 of those. I did a circle jig on my bandsaw to cut these out.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then before I rounded this part, I actually cut a 45 into this just to speed up the time.
That makes sense.
In making these round and
right, because that's going to be a big, dusty, time-consuming mess.
Yeah, I duct tape I have a little shop vac in my shed, and I duct tape that to my rotary tool. Okay. It's just so it'll suck all the dust before it goes to me.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we've got the headpiece, and what I'm looking at is when I see the diameter. I've got this set to 10 centimeters.
Okay.
We'll just kind of make a giant caliper. Ends up being 125. It looks like.
Okay. I mean, it'll change. Just on my template, I just put 128.
Okay. Oh no, it is 128.
Okay.
I've got a shadow from the carpentry square, from the speed square. Yeah, no, that's 128. Nice. Okay. So we want to do 128 circle on this.
2 of them.
2 of them. Okay.
If this was, it could be cut in half perfectly, but it's not thick enough for that. That would be ideal. But
that would be ideal. Yeah,
you'd have to cut 2 of them out of here.
Okay.
And then cut that down. Your benefit, because this will fit through your bandsaw, is you can cut both sides just to get the texture off.
Right.
Both sides.
Yeah, because I see there's still a tiny bit of the texture on the Blacktron figure.
Yeah.
On the
on
head.
this one, all I did was just the outside. I just took my rotary tool there because that's where the contact cement would hit. Okay. So it's not just on the texture.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. So on the inside, there's. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Hey, it says top in here too. Okay. All right. So if I just cut this down to larger than what I need.
130 something.
This is 140 at the smallest there. This is close. 130 the smallest here. So
maybe further that way.
Yeah. One of the only complaints, and this is a minor complaint because I want the foam for something other than what it's built from. This is the Harbor Freight Tools kneeling pad. Is what we got here. It says almost 2 inches thick. No, it's 1.5 inches thick, so it's almost 40 millimeters thick. But it's meant to be a kneeling pad, so it's a really dense EVA foam. And for your convenience, because it's so difficult to carry something, they made sure to put a handle in it. So there's a handle cut out, so you can easily carry this thing. Which means I got this huge chunk of the foam.
That you can't use.
$7 foam. It's not that expensive. You can't use.
I actually glue that back in.
You glue this back in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because so far when I've used this, I'm either like doing some kind of finishing, I'm going to grind that area down, or I skin it.
Yeah, if you're going to skin it, just glue it back in. Yeah. All right. I don't have a silver Sharpie with me, because I never do. So I'm going to want to cut it. I'm going to step over to the bandsaw in just a minute. I'm going to cut it there and then cut it again here. Right? And then, so what we're going to end up doing, look, it's a black shot. So here's the handle. To the side over here, with the X-Acto knife, I've cut and made a line. So this is where I'm going to cut it in the bandsaw in order to get this piece, which I can get one head half out of. And then over here, I cut another line for the other head half. And so I'm going to make those 2 cuts. There's no camera, that's why I'm telling you. I'm going to make that cut, I'm going to make this cut, and then I'm going to set them up on end, whichever one's the most secure. and shave the texture off. And I don't care about getting it exactly right yet. We'll measure it, and then I'll come back again, because just the way I want to do it right now. So I'm going to step aside and fire at the bandsaw, which will make noise. Dan will probably look at comments and interact with you.
All right, let's see.
He doesn't have to, but that just made sense.
Yeah, I am his mod.
Yes, much appreciated.
So let's see. Hopefully that's not too noisy for you guys. Let's see here. Social vision, much easier in metric measurements. You're not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, that's actually what I use for the most part. Louis Cosby says, Dan does comments. Yes. Well, it technically is so. Technically, it's still Dan does junk. Junk equals anything. I'm doing comments. It's something.
No, actually, Dan's just saying your comments are junk.
Advexen says, at Dan, steal this idea. Lego Big O mech. Okay.
Lego what?
Big O.
Oh, Lego Big O?
Big O. It's another.
Oh,
yeah.
Big O. Yeah. Okay.
Now, you mean as just building the mech or as a minifig? Because if you look at, especially how the arms are on that thing, it's kind of weird. They won't match Lego arms. I guess you could just throw the print on there and people will know what it is. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, Social Vision says most advanced Vader ever.
Yeah.
In terms of the figure, yeah. It's really cool though, those pieces.
Alright. I'm still going to need some sanding to smooth it to flatten it, but...
Yeah. It's so smooth.
I'm going to ruin that!
Seeing how much reflection I can get off the light on that surface. It says that Ralph can't wait to see your video. I can't either. I actually really enjoy watching your videos. Just there's certain things that are like ASMR to me, and just watching the process of you melting down the metals, making your mold out of the sand, and then just the whole process. It's just really, I enjoy that kind of thing. Like when Odin and Felicia last week when you were messing with the packing tape on the wires, that crinkling sound, for some reason I found that soothing. Like it wasn't too loud or annoying, I found it soothing.
I might have to find another piece. I really pushed really hard at the end there. This is not flat at all. As long as I can get enough out of it. So maybe I'll stop doing that before I ruin this one.
Oh, you're at...
I'm where it needs to be?
You're over where it needs to be, so you still have enough.
I got enough meat. Good. Oh, good. Oh, I'm cutting it down anyway. All right. Here, I'll trade sides with you.
Okay. I guess I should have mentioned this. Maybe you should have like put a line around it so you can see where it's being cut.
Yeah, but I've got some light over there. I've got the vertical blade, and I'm going at cutting it with a black item, and with the black, the lights are off behind it because I'm in the studio, right? So I start pushing, and I can see along the top where the blade's going, but I never seem to have my bandsaw set correct, right? I see videos where The bandsaw is on. It has enough tension, and the cutting of the blade is perfect in the center of the two wheels, so it stays exactly where it's supposed to be. This is, to my understanding, the way you want to set your bandsaw.
Yeah.
I don't go back and calibrate mine when I use it. I just turn it on and go for it.
It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the blade swims through the foam while I'm cutting it. So I end up literally, we got the blade, twisting the foam into the blade, causing the blade to twist slightly, and I'm usually able to keep it, within the millimeter of the end that I want by doing that. But then I twist too much in the bottom and I end up making a cheese wedge. Hi, cheese. What I want to find right now is a piece of cardboard so I can make a 64 millimeter compass so I can stick a pin in it and then put a point down and draw a 128 millimeter circle. So then I can cut that out.
Joseph is in. Dan, when are you doing a, Final Fantasy cosplay? Probably never. I don't.
Is that Vicky?
No, that's Schultz.
Oh, Schultz. Okay.
You think I play that game a lot? I actually don't. And when I'm on there, I don't do much. I know they have a new patch and there's more story to it, but I haven't actually touched that in a long time. I just log on to stay, just so that I'm not off long enough to lose my house that I have in that game. I want to say it's 45 days.
Oh, really?
And then you lose your house. So.
Yeah, I don't want my house repoed.
Yeah.
I get that.
And then he says, or better, a Lego fig. Okay, a Final Fantasy Lego figure. That's interesting.
Sephiroth.
Yeah. It's Lego. So. Then he says, how many hours now? 800? Raise that. It's a lot more than that, actually.
How many hours you spent on the Final Fantasy Online?
Yeah, I'm in 4 digits.
All right.
I think. Yeah.
It's all good.
Started in 21, so.
Okay.
Ace, actually the term Big O Fig would be perfect for the larger size Odin scale minifig.
Not gonna lie, that's the way I read it at first because
Yeah.
I had coworkers that would call me Big O, and he wasn't referring to the robot.
Eastern 57, I missed it. What are you guys making today?
A mess. Dan and I are making some custom giant Lego minifigs, and so Dan's walking me through his process of building an Odin scaled minifig head because I've made the Odin scaled Legos before,
and this is
that's actually kind of fun on its own.
I've got a huge. Is that a big fat silencer on there?
Yes, it's a blunderbuss. It's like the Java. Yeah.
And then this is the figure that I made, the first one that I made. So I'm wondering, because it's off, maybe, I don't know,
Okay.
belt sander or something?
Yeah, belt sander or just sander.
I wish I had something like that, but I usually had my palm sander. It was enough to get it level-ish with I think I used 80 grit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't have anything too fancy in terms of how I made my circle jig. I just grabbed a piece of wood,
Right.
screwed this into it so that more than, 64 millimeters hanging out.
Yeah.
Put the...
I probably should actually. I've got a circle jig for my non-foam blade. Why don't I just do that?
Yeah.
I gotta cut 2 of these anyway.
And then I just put the edge of the circle right up to against the blade. And then I just spun it. And that did it.
Oh, okay.
Jerry Can Cosplay. I better finish this Lego TIE Fighter. No, take your time. Don't rush it. Lego's too much fun to just rush. How's your day, Odin and
Sorry, what?
Awesome Lips, how's your day, Odin and Dan? It's going well. We're making large-scale Lego stuff, so...
So John Christensen, the guy that runs the Sacramento Media Center, which is where I'm streaming from, has some. These are official Lego minifigs.
Okay.
They're keychains, so they've all got this extra bit of metal hanging off their heads. But yeah, I don't know, which is kind of fun. I know
Makes them hard to stand with.
it makes them hard to stand with this extra bit of metal hanging off their heads. Especially on an uneven surface. There we are. There we are. If you hit cut or auto on. So what we have is, of course, there's Luke Skywalker in his X-wing fighter pilot outfit, right? And we have Darth Maul, who's over. There's my finger. Who's over here. And like I said, they're keychains, so they have this keychain hanging off their heads. This guy in the middle, I believe his name was the Brickster. Those of you online will remember his name better. But with the one blue glove, he was the villain character from the old Lego Island video game from like 1989, 1991. Is that old? No, actually, it's probably not quite that old. It might be more like 97. And most of the keychains have the Lego logo on their back. Not all of them, but a lot of them. At least the older ones did. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So we got more Lego figs, and you can see that they are. God, Vader's huge. Yeah. Okay, so maybe he's the wrong choice. Here, let's bring up. Of course, he's also standing on a plate. Yeah, there. That's more normal size. So here's Fett with Maul. So they're all totally compatible. They'll work with each other, which is really cool. I do like. I've got a bunch of these figures. I've got Godzilla. I've got Optimus Prime and Megatron. I've got. Translor Z, and just all these other characters that Legos don't make, and I've bought almost all of them. I got a bunch of beans from Among Us. Bought them all from Toy Box. So go ahead and just cut back. So thank you, John, for contributing to the stream.
Jerry can cosplay the Lego Hamburglar.
Yep, the Lego Hamburglar. Red gloves. Hamburglar have red gloves and a cape.
Yeah, he had a cape.
So the circle jig that I did, partly inspired by, well, a little bit, I've seen the trick done before, but I know that SKS Props, Steve at SKS Props, had done something similar with his bandsaw. What he's got, it's just a piece of plywood with a rail stapled in it that fits inside the guide rail that's on the bed of the bandsaw. Okay. And so this is where the blade hits, and on mine there's all this scarring from using it.
On the blade, yeah.
So then all you have to do is from this edge, because this is where the blade's going to be, drill your hole anywhere along here to be the radius of the circle you want to cut.
Okay.
And then I've bought enough drywall screws that I've run across a couple of these, if you want to hit cut again. These are drywall screws that were never manufactured with threads. So they're just completely... They're just pegs. They still have the Phillips head, which you really probably can't see at all. There it is.
Interesting.
But it's a 3-inch drywall screw that's just a smooth rod. And so this is an 1/8-inch hardened metal rod that I can then put into an 1/8-inch hole. And it's thick enough that I'm able to peg, most any material to spin it on my bandsaw. So... yeah, we'll just figure out 64 millimeter. First, we'll see if one happens to be here. I've actually got one marked Gundam knee.
But yeah, the way I did mine
actually,
is...
that's almost right. No, that's 64 right there.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Did you make a Lego head?
Did I really luck out to... I made a 128 millimeter round something before. I'll just mark this one Lego head now. Of course, I'm going to go to the middle of the hole,
mine's
which
a
is
little,
64.
Oh, nice. Mine's a little more crude. I just screwed the foam onto the piece of wood. It has no rail or anything. And then I made sure the circle that I drew on here touches the edge of the foam. And then I just put that against the blade. Clamp the piece of wood on there and just spin it. So it works.
It totally works.
Yeah. Steve D, I made a circle jig from the SKS pattern and it worked brilliantly.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what I need to find now, that I've got set aside somewhere around here, it's probably behind the camera, is an 1/8 inch or slightly smaller drill bit. So I can put a hole in the foam.
Fieldwalker Masks, hello from Scotland. Well, hello there.
Oh, hello.
Thank you for attending the stream. We both appreciate it.
This is true. We do both appreciate it. Thank you for attending. Thank you all for attending the stream.
Schultz Division, make a Lego drill in Ryobi colors. Sponsorship? Wink, wink.
Okay, thank you, Ryobi. They don't exactly sponsor. I don't get money from Ryobi, but they do they send me tools. They send me tools to review. They send me tools to use, which is pretty freaking cool. Even though this particular one isn't one they sent me, it is really cool that they do that. So thank you very much, Ryobi, and I appreciate getting new toys to play with.
Yeah, because you're like their testbed for all these new maker tools they're coming out with.
Yeah, some of them. I don't know if I had any input on these or not because the new Ryobi heat pen. This is it's a heat gun, but they call it a heat pen because it doesn't. The battery is separate, which we talked about multiple times, Felicia and I both, about how nice it is. The battery is separate. Yeah, it ends up being corded, but it's not corded. I can still walk around the shop with it. And as a heat gun, this still puts out enough heat to heat shrink tubing. On the high setting, it'll probably help strip paint. But as a craft tool, it doesn't put out enough heat to burn the foam. It'll do the details that I want a heat gun to do to foam, but it won't cook it.
Yeah.
And then, unlike a soldering iron, the way the tube is, the way the end here is built, it's safe to touch all the way down. While it's running, I can hold on to the very end, and it doesn't heat up, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then it does have a couple of little thingies, little adapters.
Attachments.
There's a hook for helping with shrink too. I know I'm not pointing it to the camera, sorry. And a flat thing to help spread it out. So those are safely tucked away underneath. Available at Home Depot. Let's just drill my hand.
Schultz says he used to get tools from Milwaukee, no complaints from me. Yeah.
Right? I want to find about the center because I don't want to miss. Okay, this is the bigger ones. This is a bit easier.
I just make a huge X over the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's how I put the...
You're not wrong. That's the way to do it.
That's how I put the pip on the top here. Just do a big X. Because I had the center hole already on the piece.
On the piece from, yeah. Which I'll end up doing it this way too. Is you end up with the center hole. Of course, I'm drilling it by hand, which means I am not guaranteed to be perpendicular. But I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to hand sanding this on the disc sander or the belt sander, which means it's not going to be perfectly whatever anyway.
Steve D, Dan, what are you working on next? So I did want to kind of talk about that.
Hey, go ahead. Talk about your stuff.
So I'm actually going to be quite busy this year. I've got a few projects that I'll be working on. Two of them guaranteed to happen. One is the giant Lego figure of Voltron that we were talking about, and that shouldn't be too. It shouldn't take me that long since I already have. Another figure here started, and kind of looked out with the colors that it is already to make it the Voltron. So that is one. Another one is actually going to be more. It's going to take longer. It's a cosplay, so it's not a prop. My nephew-in-law wants me to help him make a Master Chief cosplay. He saw how well I did the death scythe, so he asked me to make that for him. And we're actually going to be starting that this coming Saturday. He's going to come by my house, and hopefully you can still hear me over the bandsaw. Yeah, he's going to come over. We're going to get started on that. Probably start off with the helmet first. And I don't think that will be too bad to make because it's a suit meant for a person to wear. You know, it's an armor. So I'm thinking, you know, just make the sleeves for the arms and the legs, like a vest type thing for the body, and whatever for the waist, some kind of belt or whatever, and then, you know, just tack the pieces onto it to make it look the part. So, well, yeah, that'll be a fun build. So that'll be for him, and depending on how smooth those go, and how much time and energy I have, my current main job site is in Hayward.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So
Hayward.
Yeah,
I was born there.
Yeah. So
Notice I'm not still there. Sorry.
It's about at least 2 hours from here. Yeah. It's not that labor intensive what we're doing, but just the drive that just takes so much time. I know I get home and really don't have much time to do stuff. I want to, but I won't. But if things go smoothly, depending on how I feel, time and energy and my mood, I'll throw in the third project, which is another cosplay, and it is gonna be. I'll wait till he's done so he can hear me clearer. Because it's an announcement. So. Advection OG's Dan opens the Halo 1 suit with less detail. Thankfully, so many others have done it like Ghostbusters will be landed complete. That's true. There's a lot of support doing a Master Chief cosplay because it's been done so many times. The one my nephew-in-law wants to do is based off Infinite, and he actually did provide me with a figure to, you know, it's a 3D source, which is awesome to have. That's how I built my Death Scythe. So that'll help a lot. But like I said, I will start a third project, which is a cosplay, depending on how things go with these other two projects. It's going to be another Gundam cosplay.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be another human like the guy who created the Death Scythe you're making.
No. It's going to be an actual Gundam. So, yeah. I will have the Death Scythe and another one. What that Gundam is, because there's so many, you're going to have to wait and see what that's going to be. I did tell you.
You did tell me.
Yeah, so.
And I forgot. But he would tell me again, and I'll go, oh, yeah.
So got your Discord DMs.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. So as far as me making a Gundam cosplay, because Joe and I talked about this on occasion, I'm not exactly of the human stature to properly fit a Gundam suit without really making it bigger. I could probably pull off a Zaku.
There are other mobile suits that would probably work for you,
right?
But not necessarily a Gundam. You can try. I mean, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. And I'm not currently looking at doing a Gundam. I'm more excited about a couple of other characters that I would fit in. Talking about making astromech droids. I'm working on the leg right now, which is inspiring to build a full size, let's do the whole thing, and stuff like that. So
yeah. But yeah, in terms of what Gundam it is, did I say Gundam? In terms of what Gundam it is, you'll have to wait and see. But I will talk about my plans for that suit. I'm going to take everything I learned building the Death Scythe and not do them. I have some goals. One, I want to be more mobile in the suit. It's a mobile suit. obviously, but I want to be more mobile than I am with the Death Scythe. The Death Scythe, I made the body kind of big, so it's very clunky up top. I can barely touch my hands together, so I want to be able to do that, so I can wield weapons better. I want to be able to break it down more as well. Like, for example, the upper body, that's one piece. Maybe that could be 2 or 3 different pieces, so I can break it down more for transporting and storing. I'll have to think of ways to do that. And another thing I want to do, which I wanted to try to do this with the Death Scythe, but it didn't happen. I want to be able to kneel in this thing. So I'll have to look at different materials that can take my weight and not be too deformed when I get off of my knee. Obviously, kneeling pad material might work. This still will squish, so I'm wondering about how the finish will look like when weight is off it. But yeah, I'll look at different things like that. And then another thing, I want to be able to put this suit on all by myself, and I think that's possible, depending on how I design it. I'm going to segment everything differently. I'm going to scale things carefully while trying to maintain the look. I think it's all possible. I'll just have to see. But like I said, that's if my other 2 projects are going fine and I feel fine throwing in a third project in there, a third labor and time-consuming project in there. So, I mean, the Halo suit will take time, and yeah, you'll get to see my nephew-in-law in some of those videos. It's all gonna be videos, obviously. I don't want to make it without it being videos. Although I'll be able to get it done faster. But yeah, they're gonna be videos. You know, I do this for you guys, just like Odin doing he's done all these props that you can't see up here for you guys. So yeah, those are my 3 main projects this year. I don't know if I'm gonna throw in another one, but yeah, I'm gonna be very busy. Yes, I am back in the shed. I am foam smithing again. Like I said, if you miss it, I made this Lego head yesterday. So, and I actually made this a lot better compared to the first one. I was looking at it more, eyeballing it more, looking at its shape and silhouette a lot more just to shape it better. And yeah, I like when I do something again and I actually take steps forward in terms of how it looks and how better it looks and how better it's made, you know. Because going backwards sucks. Alright.
Never look back.
Louis Cassi, Odin on stilts for a giant Gundam. Scary.
Lewis! I forgot him again! Dang it!
Oh.
I was going to bring him and I forgot him. I was so keyed in on grabbing the Lego stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, giant Lego and stilts would be interesting.
Advexen. Dan, is this Gundam in the main timeline or perhaps have dragon hands? No, it does not have dragon hands. If anything, at least it doesn't have anything on it that sticks out too far. Like the Death Scythe has those huge shoulders. It doesn't have anything like that. If anything, it's got a very similar silhouette to the RX-78. So it is not UC or AC, Universal Century or After Colony. So, but yeah, that's the only thing I won't share. You just have to wait for that video to come out. And
you're narrowing it down, but you're not going to share it.
There's a lot of Gundam universes, so thankfully, and there's a shit ton of Gundams out there. So.
Yeah, there are.
And apparently there's some mobile suits that are made out of the material that aren't necessarily called Gundams. Like in Zeta Gundam, the Rick Diaz, which looks like an upgraded version of the Dong. That's made of Gundarium alloy, but they don't call it a Gundam.
Now, I know of the Gundam Dong. And I know, well, I can kind of, because I remember the kit. I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
Gunpla. I haven't seen a lot of Gundam, but I've seen a lot of Gunpla. And the Dom was a 3 kit, right? It came with 3.
Yeah.
So I know that they're purple, and I know what they look like. But just passing, I hear Gundam Dom, and I'm picturing a Gundam in a leather mask with a whip and big high heel boots.
What do you call that? Mashup?
Mashup,
some
yeah.
kind?
Master Chief, no, that's
Yeah.
something else. Master Dragon Breath, no, that's somebody else.
Aero Gundam? ERO? Down Unite, you're not the only one that makes costumes and props. That's time consuming. It takes months for me to complete them. Yes, it does.
Yeah. Took me, what, a year to do Godzilla and a year to do... I had help, but it took a year to do Gundam.
There you go. Sporadic. Hang on.
Sporadic.
Sporadic. Sorry, I'm having a Felicia moment right now.
Believe it or not, to do this for a couple of hours on end on camera, where you are actually self-conscious, it can be weird to try and read and keep up with things.
It's because I'm seeing letters and words that I've never seen together.
Yeah, well, that'll
Sporadic amnesic, I think.
Okay, well, all right,
Says
let's see.
saucy Gundam.
So Eastern 57, and those down here.
Yeah.
Sporadic amnesic.
Amnesic. There you go.
Sporadic amnesia.
Saucy
Spontaneously forget things. I haven't been looking at the screen, so. Yeah, that's about right. Okay.
Schultz, I was worried for a second. Thought you said Gundam Dong.
Oh.
Where's your guys' minds at today?
Square in the gutter, right where they should be. So it looks like this is 24 millimeter.
Oh, the thickness?
From the top of the head to here, looks like it's 24.
23, 24. My
It doesn't
template
matter because
said
this thing can
23.
make up the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
It's just an easier way to make the round
Okay.
part of the head. Yeah. I can see how uneven my first one is compared to this one. I really paid more attention on this one. It looks way better.
Hope you guys don't mind all the power tool noise.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear me. I'm getting responses, so I guess so. And the mics are right here. So.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to mark my 24 millimeter on the side so I know I can get it to be what I want, because right now it's still a cheese wedge.
Yeah.
So.
And then on these, like I said before I carved this, I cut 45. I pretty much did like half of it.
Yeah, you cut a 45.
From half of the ear.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I took my sanding drum to it.
Gotcha.
At least with kneeling pan foam, sanding drum is really fast on this.
Yeah, no, the kneeling pad foam was great.
It's a godsend for giant cosplays.
Yeah!
It's great. My Gundam feet are only like almost 5 pounds each. So it's still a calf burner to walk in that, but
What isn't?
yeah. She's says we can hear you, Dan. Okay, good.
Okay. Wind.
Grot Gerson. It took me about 5 streams to
The
notice.
storm's coming.
Oh yeah. It took me about 5 streams to notice that they said Gundam and not the C word.
Ah, okay. They're saying Gundam and not prophylactic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because White Base is called the Trojan Horse. Yeah. Don't you like when they hide certain adult things like that in kids' shows, kids' cartoons?
Yes.
Yeah. As an adult, it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry.
Even if you did.
Yeah. I would probably teach it to them.
We're going to learn something today.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing currently is I want to mark 24 millimeters up on the side of the disc that I've got here. So this is a piece of craft foam that's about 1.8 millimeter, right? So it's not exactly the 1 millimeter less than I want, because this is 25 millimeter. But where the blade's going to cut isn't exactly flat either, right? So, and it starts to get nitpicky over less than a millimeter. So the key word here is good enough.
Yeah. Because you got
I'm going to be sanding
blade
on
thickness,
it. Yeah, and all
sanding,
sorts of things.
all that stuff.
So I want to take the blade, which I don't think there's a shot because the gun. Yeah, cut to 3. So hit the 3 button, and then cut to 3. I got something in the way. So what I'm working on here is a Lego head, right? And the Lego head. Oh, that made an awesome noise.
There you go.
So my plan is to take this is a snap off blade, nice and black on where you can't see it. I'm going to hold this against the 1, 2, 3 block, and then I can just drag my my disc where the blade is, and basically mark about 24 millimeters ish all the way around. And the thought, plan, hope is to cut the disc down to closer to what I want, and then I can choose whichever side looks nicer.
That's what I did.
Okay.
So I wrote top and bottom because one of them had like more nicks.
More nicks and
stuff.
nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for the neck or for the bottom here,
Cut.
it was the worst one because I'm gonna cut a big fat hole in it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, can we even see it? Kind of.
Yeah, I can see it there.
Ryobi!
Ralph Mork. So DDJ, need any pieces cast in metal? I got my mojo going thanks to this project for Odin.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I will see.
There.
There you go.
That really helps.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to sand all this off anyway. So, and also I hadn't used the heat pen. I mean, I pretty much figured it would, but I hadn't used this project yet specifically for doing panel lines. And I can see where I missed, but that's okay.
Well, yes, Ralph, I will keep you in mind if I am in need of any kind of metal casting, because that's really great work. That's awesome of you to make those V-hooks for Odin, and they look great.
I am so excited.
So it says, cast a Odin scale Lego figure, Ralph. Yeah, let the kids play with that one.
Yeah. Here, Johnny, go drop this on your foot.
Craftsmanship. You do live streams. That's badass. Yes, it is. And he'll be doing videos soon. Ooh, Ralph says Odin scale Lego sword maybe.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that won't be con friendly.
What's neat, to me it's neat, and I don't believe it's Odin scale, which I don't really care. Bill Duran on Punished Props did a Lego sword at one point, just as a prop to hold. But the fact that I can make the classic 80s medieval, the Castle Knights sword, and it's got cat toys. Yeah. Gee, wouldn't that be horrible, Ralph? I'd have to make a foam sword and ship it to you so you could cast it. Oh.
You'd probably say, do I get to keep that sword?
I'm getting an aluminum one, right? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hopefully that he just uses it to press the mold into sand and not use it as a, what do you call that?
Lost wax,
yeah,
whatever. Well, not lost wax. Lost wax casting.
Yeah.
I'm going to imagine he would do a sand mold like he'd done with the V hooks, which I didn't realize that's how that works. It's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Have to make a bigger box. Where is it? There it is. Now I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't just try to keep cutting it this way. Right? Just keep holding the blade and not actually... I'll probably take it to the bandsaw.
Yeah, at least you have a line, a reference line. So I know the bandsaw blade gets a bit wonky.
You were bringing something over. If you wanted
just
to-
cat toys.
Oh, cat toys, yeah. But those are these extra special Shop Gremlin Amazon found smaller than 42mm cat toys.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, actually, those are those are ever so slightly smaller, which I'm happy about. I'm glad to have more than one size. Don't get me wrong.
Craftsmanship. Wait, this isn't live, is it? It is live.
Yeah, this live craftsmanship.
Yeah.
How's it going?
We are live.
We are live, and we will say thank you, and you're awesome, and this is really cool. If any of you want to just drop a super chat because you're feeling generous. Hi, this is Odin Baking. No, don't worry about it. I appreciate you guys are watching.
And this is how Odin bakes.
This is how Odin bakes. Please, please, may I have another?
Rod Grisson's giving us Lego history. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lego is short for the two Danish words legot, which means play well or play well or play good. I actually
Yep.
remember that.
I remember that.
I thought it meant like have fun and don't step on them.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah.
But.
Don't eat 'em. Don't eat 'em.
More noise.
Moon Ice 2K, there are many ways that you can bake for super chats, but this is how Odin bakes. That's just fun to just take and just rearrange the words and all that. Huh, I've never been asked this, especially from chat. Eastern 57, hey Dan, how did you and Odin meet?
Oh, there you go.
So, I stumbled upon Odin's channel back in 2020. Literally. I was
Whoops, there it is.
I was at work, at my desk.
That's the best.
Yeah.
I was at work.
I was at work, at my desk, and I get these random impulse thoughts in my head. And I had Gundam cosplay on my mind. So I just went on YouTube, typed Gundam cosplay, and which I've done before. I didn't find anything too interesting. But when I did it the last time, or that time, I saw your build video where you made the ARC-78 head.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the first one with
Yeah.
the goofy eyes.
Yeah, that showed up, and I was like, "What is this?" So I clicked on it, and it was pretty much a tutorial video of how Odin went about making the head, which I had never seen before in terms of how to build such a thing. Because the Gundam cosplay is something I've always wanted to do. When I found out people were doing this, you know, I was like, I want to make one too. How do I go about it? I couldn't find a damn thing. So yeah, that's how I stumbled upon his channel, and I just kept following it from there. You went ahead and made the rest of it, which was freaking awesome. And thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. No, that was a lot of fun. That was a great idea.
And I just got hooked on your channel. Just started watching everything else that you made, which is just awesome. And then
Luckily found out that we lived maybe 40 minutes from each
oh
other.
yeah, when I found out he was in Sacramento, I was like, really? Wow. Okay. And then I found out that he did live streams, because you know I'm on YouTube. I had started my channel Dan Does Junk back in 2018. I subscribed to your channel. I saw that live symbol next to his channel name. Like, he's live? What is he doing live? Why is he live? So I click on it, and then you're doing a live stream. I'm like, oh, he does live streams. I can actually talk to this guy.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah, just like how you guys are doing now. But yeah, that was great. So I just kept watching your streams, and I think the first time that you read, the first comment that you read, yeah, I still remember all this.
I
The
get
first
it.
comment that you read from me was about your about the Gundam cosplay in terms of the types of paints you use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, which was just flat effects and acrylics and...
At the time, you were spray painting it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're using the Krylon paints.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe wanted to use the Krylon paints because it was going to be a consistent color. So
Yeah.
and Krylon, I prefer the Krylon brand paint over Rust-Oleum because in the conditions that I'm in and the foam, using on the foam, it dries faster for me. I don't have the patience. Rust-Oleum will dry, but it won't dry till tomorrow or the next day. So
Or the next year.
or the next year. Yeah. So I go with Krylon, which is done in about 15, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Bit of a difference between next year and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I've got a 20-minute attention span.
Well, that's longer than mine.
What's that?
It's longer than mine.
Sorry. Yes.
Right after I'm daydreaming, staring at that blue Krylon spray can over. Wow. You saw. I'm just like, jeez.
Thank you for playing along, Dan. Appreciate it.
Oh my God. Anyway, so that's how I discovered Odin's channel.
That's right.
And yeah, of course, I got stuck when you read my comments and started reading more and more of them.
Yeah.
And then I made that broken Zaku snout.
That thing's cool.
And I gifted it to Odin.
That thing's
I forget
cool.
what stream that's on. You guys doing the Witcher.
Yeah, doing The Witcher and it showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe still got that. That went with him with the
that's
Gundam
awesome.
because that's where it belongs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. And then SAC Anime Summer 22. Was it? No,
21.
21. Yeah.
It was when the cons came back after 2020.
Yeah. SAC Anime Summer 2021 is when I actually first met Odin. I walked upstairs when I went to his booth. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. I was
Hey,
cosplayed-
Joe, it's Dan.
Yeah. I was cosplayed as old school Vegeta.
Right?
Yeah.
I got that
So,
picture.
that was cool.
So 50. So I'm going to be... half of 58 is going to be 29. Okay.
Yeah. 29. I kind of still have these numbers fresh in my head because I just finished
just did this,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just made this yesterday. Not sure how well you can see it. It's kind of dark green.
Black on black on black on black on.
black
What?
shirt.
What's the problem?
Even my yeah, that doesn't help.
No.
It's red, but it's dark red.
It's all right.
Huh? No.
What?
I'm just gonna stare off into something.
It's all right. Dude, that was way too much fun. Thank you.
Lewis says, "Careful, Dan. Odin may throw you off a roof one day."
I can dream. Hey, where's Felicia? Well,
Let's see. I was babbling some just looking back.
that's fine. So there's a flat spot in between the pip and where the curve starts. Mm-hmm. I can just measure it, but I'm just wondering if you remember what that was.
No, there was no measurement.
There's no measurement. It's
I was
just
mostly
arbitrary?
going off the silhouette.
Gotcha.
Like when
Looks
I
like
was-
it's about 12.
Yeah, when I was doing it, I kept looking at it, trying to find a good background. And I just kept rotating it.
Yep.
To
Yep.
see if it looks good. And then
Oh, to
finding
make
like
sure
high
that-
spots. And then just yeah.
I was just considering putting a ring on it, so I was like, that's my target. Which means I'm going to indent my target, but I'm going to use a pencil, so it's not going to be too terrible. But it looks like it's about... Actually, it looks like it's about a centimeter. It looks like it's about 10.
From the
From the outer edge of
Yeah.
the pip to the end of this sanded
Where
flat
it
spot,
kinda
the next
starts.
sanded, it looks like it's pretty consistently a centimeter. So I need to add a centimeter to this hole.
You're being more technical than I was.
Well, we're going to make a couple more of these.
Oh yeah.
And then I got to remember, and that's the hard part. So here's some quick little behind the scenes things that probably no one really realizes. I'm out doing all the Odin Makes videos. I'm making this thing and I'm making that thing. Half the time I'm rediscovering what it was I'd done before because I don't go back and watch my old videos and I don't have every little detail of everything I've ever done memorized. So much like Star Trek, where they can't remember how they solved the problem from last week and they got to solve the same problem again this week, that's what I'm doing. How am I going to do this? You just did that. Yeah, but I don't remember. How did I do this? So that's.
Yeah, like I said, I still have the original cardboard templates for making the minifig.
That's important.
It's got a lot of writing on it.
Yeah, I bet.
Just so I can remember what things are.
Appreciate you gave me a set. I've got this still.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, when I was making this, I was also thinking, what if I just cut cylinders this thick, keep going, and just make a solid head?
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I think this idea is better.
Yeah, it's better. It's faster.
It's going to be lightweight. The sides are going to be more consistently smooth because it's a flat piece that's cut into a cylinder.
Yeah, I have an extra piece here because the craft foam I use is only 12 inches.
That's what I was thinking.
More.
That's the craft foam.
Yeah.
Dang it, Dan! What are you using this craft foam crap for? No, that's fine. I don't care. Yeah, it is cheap.
Yeah.
It's readily available and cheap. You know, it's two really. That's why McDonald's works. It's readily available and cheap. Not that it's good.
They're pretty much like close to almost $1 a sheet.
Well, I guess it's the same on both sides, huh? Because the flat space, your 10 millimeter foam, it's going to be so it's the same on both. Okay, I hadn't really reasoned that out before.
Just looking at a figure.
Sure.
It could have a flat spot before the neck ring, or it could just start from there. Then again, this is not an official Lego head. It looks kind of weird.
Right, and the keychain ones are harder. I had Benny, but I took him home, so I don't think I have an official figure here right now. And I don't want to rip the keychain out of John's figures, but yes, you can't take the heads off. With the keychain figures from Lego, they have a metal rod that runs through the top of their head all the way down into the hip piece, into the legs. That way the minifig won't fall apart or it rides around in your pocket. Although they do, because the hands fall off and the print rubs off and stuff happens. This makes me want to make a TIE fighter. TIE fighter too, but X-Wing fighter helmet. Later, future Odin problem.
Eventually.
Hey, Felicia's here.
But yeah, from what I'm seeing on that, it's like the neck, right where the neck ring is where the curve starts.
Yeah.
So
that's 10 mil because this is 10 mil, right? So if I do both of those, and then we want to, so this becomes rounded off.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's pretty close to a 90-degree bevel. Yeah, it is actually. Now my pieces, cutting it one of the fun things with cutting on a bandsaw, and I've seen this cutting circles even by hand with a snap-off blade, is as you work your way around and you're twisting the blade to make the curve. So in the bandsaw's case, I'm twisting the material into the blade, same torque. It makes the blade twist and move, and you end up not having a perfectly straight cut. And I've actually got that going on here, where I can see, hold because of my black shirt, where I can see that the walls of my disc that I've cut does this a little bit. I try to cut. I really did it bad in the first one because I went, here we go. I'm on live stream. This is fun. I tried to go a little slower in the second one, so it's not as bad. I don't remember which one's which now, but I can still see, especially when I hold it up against something, that it's tapered, basically. It ends up being tapered by as much as 1 millimeter or 2. But I'm sanding it, so who cares, right? Kind of comes down to that, too. I'm going to sand it, so who cares? Yeah. So you were saying you marked the middle point and then cut a 45 of that middle point just to remove that much material.
Yeah.
And then the rest you did by hand. Okay.
Just so you're not taking all of this off with your rotary tool.
Right.
Yeah.
Can appreciate that. That's smart. Hey everybody, this is Dan Does Junk. He's smart.
Sometimes.
am I looking for? I'm looking for something to get me about halfway.
There's a spray can I was staring at.
Oh, you found the street? the
Yeah.
that spray can?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm using a blade again, but for those of you who actually like plan ahead, you know, silver Sharpie, silver marker, white marker.
I use
tape,
pencil.
Pencil. Okay.
Because it still leaves a mark on there that I can see.
Long enough. Because I got to be careful I don't cut so deep that I end up causing a problem.
What actually helps me in my shed is I have another light on an arm off to the side.
Yeah.
Rather than just my shed light, which is here. Because using that alone, I'm casting the shadow on the pieces.
Right.
So I need another light off to the side. So I'm not doing that.
I've got a little clip-on gooseneck light with some gaff tape wrapped around it like a snoot that points at the. It could be off because the lights get bumped, but probably should double check that before I go over there again. So the next thing I'm going to go do that you're not going to see is I'm going to tilt the bed of the bandsaw to 45 degrees and then cut a bevel into these discs. How are we doing on time? Do we have hope of finishing this?
No.
No?
You get
20 minutes.
Oh yeah, we don't have hope of finishing this. Sorry.
Sorry for talking a lot. No. That's what it's for, is to interact with you guys.
Yeah, actually, it really is.
Yeah.
There's a huge point in my past where it really helped to talk with you guys, so thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Ryobi, for giving me battery-powered tools to die. No, it was a huge portion of, especially last year, that I needed a live stream and you guys as something to look forward to and something to do. I did do that one. Yeah, my line's pretty faint, but I'll be okay.
Muddy 1052, I'm just
Ooh,
nostalgic for the heyday when we got an edit video like every week or every other week and a live stream as well.
Absolutely, Muddy.
Like
Muddy's one of those great guys I got to meet in Oklahoma like 2 years ago. Me too. Trying to get regular edited videos out again. Last year was just, obviously it wasn't going to happen. Currently working on one. Hope to have it out soon-ish. The whole point is building a thing that has to go to a con. The con happens this weekend, so I have to have it done, but I'll also get the footage I need to finish the video. So I can't have the video up before the con because I won't have the footage. But, you know, so soon-ish. Because they're coming. They're coming.
I find that normal is that, you know, if you're going to make something to debut it, that'll happen first, obviously, before any kind of video comes out.
Yeah.
Because you got to just... Editing the video takes a lot of time.
Oh, it does.
You know, it's a whole different thing to do. Rather, you made your project, whatever it is, and you're not done yet.
And you're still not done yet.
Yeah. Steve D, when Odin is happy, we are all happy. Yep. And Schultz reminding everyone to leave a like on the stream. Thank you, Schultz. And I believe Cheese is off to work. I'll catch you into the stream later. Well, thanks, Cheese, for attending. Always good talking to you. making matchups can easily unhinge the balance of your mind. Yeah, because you're dealing with so many different things that you want to put together.
All right, so you just did handheld rotary tool?
Yeah.
Because part of me is like, I'm going to pull out my 1-inch belt sander. But yeah, that'll probably just take off too much.
No.
Probably take off too much and I'll regret it. So I'm going to drink. Let's move the drink out of this dust zone.
Jerry can cosplay. Yeah, I hate bloody editing. Maybe when I have enough subs, I can afford a professional editor. Hey, and
Honestly,
Schultz says I love editing, so there you go.
There you go, yeah. Yeah, I hate writing my script. That's the part I hate. And that's the one thing I can't farm out because that's the script. Sitting down and rewatching the videos. Once I've done the script writing, which is watching what I've done, right, and writing it down into a doc folder, into a doc document. And then while I'm doing that, I'm recording my timeline points because I'll take all my raw footage and dump it onto a timeline and then scrub it so I can see what I want to keep. This is a video I've talked about doing and I haven't done yet. It's a video about how I do my videos. So that process of talking about what I've done, trying to talk about what I've done for hundreds of times now, but trying to write it in such a way that if this is your first video, this is what I did without being, all right, here we, just because it gets old. So that process is the hardest part for me, is actually writing my script and getting usually it's a 4-page written script for what my video is going to be. Then from there, I've got my time code signature. I can cut and paste all my clips, and you start to stretch and make them move. Because all I ever do is record the start point. I don't care about the end point. Because the end point will just be when I'm done talking, which is forever, right? So I cut and paste and drop all these pieces on there, stretch them to fit out to what it is I'm saying, because I'll record my VO. And then I bring my pieces to match up what I've recorded. And then, because I'm recording on not just one, but 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras, sometimes even wherever my phone is, 6 cameras, I'll have 6 different things to cut to. I'll have all that footage stacked when I cut and paste. So the entire layer cake comes over with it. And then I can just activate the one channel that you actually want to see. So as the scrub line plays along in Adobe Premiere, you can see which angle it's going to be. So I'm kind of switching, but not, because there's this time jump, sometimes more than an hour between clip 1 and clip 2, that has to be cut out. So that process, and adding in the graphics and adding in the music, and I enjoy that. Once I have a paper script, I'm pretty happy. Yeah. But getting from the build project to the paper script, that little step, I dislike that. And I really got to get over disliking that because I need to do it.
Yeah, I do mine a bit differently. So I put everything in my timeline. As I'm watching it, I have Notepad up and I just start looking at what I'm doing, so I type whatever.
Yep.
Which I don't mind. It's actually recording myself that I have to do like so many takes on, because I don't like how I say things. Sometimes my lips get stuck, or sometimes I stutter the words, and I'm like, damn it, I gotta record it again.
Yeah, the hardest thing for anybody who hasn't done this is probably what Jerry doesn't like, and possibly what Ralph doesn't like, or not Ralph, Schultz doesn't like, listening to yourself talk. You're just editing. It's like, oh my gosh, shut up, Odin. It's it takes a lot to get over your own voice until. I couldn't at first. I can now separate a little bit between this guy on stream and the guy in the chair editing. But that took a while to get there.
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to my own voice. I never liked how I sounded.
Oh.
Yeah, no one really much liked how they sound.
No one does.
Yeah.
Part of the problem is you don't sound the same on recording as you do in your head.
Yeah. Because what we hear coming out of our own mouth, the way we pick up that voice is different, as opposed to being on the outside of your head. So I have to get used to that, and the way I got used to that is there's nothing I can do about it.
Basically,
this is how it's gonna be. I don't like how I sound, but the way I sound is what everyone's used to.
me get this motor slightly further away from the microphone.
Okay. So yeah. Let's see. Buddy says, I know the streams helped me out when I was going through a real tough time. I am now 6 months cancer free. That is awesome.
Oh, that's awesome, buddy.
Yeah. That is awesome. Houston 57. I just ad-lib everything straight off the cuff. Maybe that's why it physically hurts me to watch my own videos.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe I should try scripting sometime.
I tried ad-libbing, and I hated it, so I would just script it.
Yeah, sometimes when I type on when I read something that I type, I try not to sound, like a freaking robot.
Right.
I did take a speech course in high school, and my teacher was actually really good. And so writing a script was part of the process, but what really helped me was you write the script in your speaking style, your speaking tone, and just the way you speak. You're not just writing a freaking book or whatever, or instructions.
This is a huge one, and one that when I was working at the PBS station, one of the guys in charge of production couldn't understand. There's a difference between writing English, writing an English paper, writing proper English, regardless of whether it's Queen's English or the American crap we speak. Between writing English and spoken English, there's a lot of things you don't say that you have to in written. There's a pattern for how you speak, and we would literally get notes from this guy about how we had to change what the person said in the interview after the fact. Well, you don't say it this way, you say it this way. It's like, they're on tape saying it this way. I can't change that. They're on screen saying it this way. I can't change that.
Post-dubbing with a different voice?
Yeah, exactly. So that was, and it never went away. And we tried conversational versus written. This is it, but no, that's all right. That's fine. Yeah. So, keeping in mind, I actually I'll sound things out. I've gotten used to trying to write in a conversational way, and that's the way I'd rather do it for the videos. So,
because in the clips where you're speaking, you're actually just you're speaking.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
So then your voiceover has to match that.
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing that I try to do, which it never matches. It's never going to match. It's never going to be perfectly the same because the air temperature is going to be different. So the sound's going to work differently. When I record my VO, I'm standing right here wearing the same microphone, talking to the same camera, and I try to stand the same way, right? So I'm talking like this, so my voice goes out and echoes off all the crap you can't see. But if I talk like this, it's going to sound differently. But the problem is, when I am talking, I've got a hold of my script, which is a piece of paper, and I'm holding it like this, so this is still causing a reflection. And then there's the energy difference. So I especially can tell when, I was tired or depressed trying to read the script because I'm really trying to force being excited about doing this thing. So, but I don't know. For me, I like that there are times I'm in edit and I can cut between my written script that I did a VO for that was up to a week after I did the build, and when I cut to the build footage that happened on set, I don't hear a difference between the two. And that also took some practice. But
yeah, I noticed that in your videos too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you guys who are doing this, I would recommend if you're stressed about how am I going to get a good recording studio, I actually, if you go back and listen to the first Mjolnir video, the first Thor's Hammer video, I recorded that script in a sound booth here at the Media Center. And so I had the best that I could get. And it sounds so different from being in the shop, I hated it.
It's too big of a difference.
It's too big of a difference. Yeah, the room's not right. So if you do talk to the camera at all, do your VO in your space where you're talking to the camera. And it makes a big difference with the least amount of jarring between when you record and what you're doing. Or just hire someone else to talk for you, then it doesn't matter, it's a different voice.
Yeah. My beam scythe video, which is my second to last video, for some reason OBS turned off all my filters for my mic. So it sounds like I'm speaking through a hollow tube. Yeah, I was like, what is this? It sounds like trash, but you know, the video's up. I can't do anything about it. So
Yeah.
Advexen. Oh, is that why you have music in the background to hide those blemishes? No,
Yeah.
not well, in a way, but for me, it makes it less boring.
Basically, that's more.
Yeah.
It makes it less boring. I like having the background music.
Yeah. I have a catalog of music that I got over 10 years ago.
Nice.
It was, I think it was a Japanese site, and they had like this like techno style music that from artists that probably at this point no one has ever heard of. So YouTube doesn't know who they are, so I can use them.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can also buy. It's called production music. You can actually buy production music stuff that if you paid for the rights, if you paid for the music, you paid for the service, then you have the rights to use it on YouTube. Or YouTube has their own music.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, those who are crafty enough write your own music. Then no one's going to complain. But honestly, recently I've been getting. It's not a copyright strike where it's a huge problem, but one of the issues, you do this long enough, those production music will change owners, right? So the music goes from one site to another. And now the new owner's like, ha ha ha! I can hit all the old guys that use this without permission.
Yeah.
Except I had permission. And now every single video of that 30 seconds worth of this music that's uninterrupted is playing, I have to send back in, no, I had permission to use it at that time. So at this point, that particular track, whatever it's called, is going to come out of my, well, I'm just not going to use it anymore because I don't want to hear from this guy.
Yeah. Social vision. I record my own music.
That's good.
Cool. Oh, this is about hearing your own voice. So
That gets weird.
So I know the pain of hearing your own voice. He means the voice in his head versus the voice on the recording. Yeah.
Right. and what you think you sound like or what you think you said versus what actually came out of your mouth can be, yeah.
Yeah. And in a few videos, I sometimes don't understand what I say on the VOs. Like, what did I say there? That sounds so weird.
Right.
Yeah. Jerry can cosplay. I got a split, guys. Catch you on the next one. You're probably gone already, but thank you, Jerry, for
hanging out so late. Yeah.
Really appreciate it. It's always great having you around.
So doing this live, there's a certain amount of interaction, stories, talking to you. I'm not super dedicated, super focused on building this. I never am anyway. We're still getting into, an hour and a half of working on this. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it goes faster if you do more. This gets back to, I think I want to cast the head too. I think I would want to spend the time making as perfect of a head as I could. And then make a mold of it. So when I want to make another head, it'll still take an hour for the foam to set up, but I can do something else while it's setting up.
Yeah. Daniel Knight's reminding us that we're getting close to the end of the stream.
Appreciate that, Daniel Knight. I'm hoping I can get this rounded over, but I don't know how close we are. 1 minute?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably not going to happen then.
Jason 57. That sounds like George Lucas. He notoriously wrote dialogue in a way that actors just hate.
Yeah. That's possible. If you get really weird, hard to read dialogue, it's either translated. Boy, I've gotten some awesome, Google Translate dialogue that I was supposed to say for a sponsor. Or, it's somebody, it's not even the techno babble that makes science fiction famous. It's just, it's not a way that people speak.
Yeah.
So it gets really weird. But I'll literally sometimes say it in the chair while I'm trying to write it to make sure that what I'm writing is kind of the way I want it to sound. You know, sometimes I can in my head enough, but
Yeah, I actually don't mind the process of writing the script. It's recording it. I just want to make sure I just sound
like the way you want it to
normal
sound.
or right, or, you know. It's nothing fancy. It just has to be good.
Yeah, I understand. So here's a question for all of you out there in cyberspace that I keep coming up to wondering. Has anyone ever hooked up a router table and tried to route foam?
I had that on my mind when I made this yesterday.
Because all I can see it doing is grabbing the foam and chewing the hell out of it and throwing it around the room. But it's like, if you just go at it incrementally slow, even with a 45, could I just take a 45 and 45 my... It's probably not worth it. It's probably too dangerous for my fingers. But I guess I'm kind of wondering.
Yeah, if it's at a high enough RPM.
Okay.
I'm sure. You don't want to go slow because then it'll shoot. You want to be as
true.
fast as you can get it. So this is... Yeah, I'm at about 25 millimeters. 25 or 1 inch radius. So
Okay.
it's a good sized bit. You just run this through.
Yeah. No, I actually might have a bullnose bit for that.
Good idea, Steve D. Get Ryobi to send you a router to test the theory.
Yeah. No, I have a giant, like, 3 horsepower router at I could hog this out with, and a big bullnose rounding bit that I've used with Smosh for making like conference tables, where you just run a 2x4 through it twice and you get a full round on a 2x4, or nearly full.
Yeah.
So, yeah, even a 45. And I've also thought about, you know, how hard would it be? How hard would it be to make a router table type of attachment to the belt sander? You know, not so the big flat one there, but the 1 inch belt sander that I got from Harbor Freight. So I got something I could put my work in, and then, you know, because the belt sander will do a 45 pretty easily, and honestly, more accurately than the bandsaw will.
I have a makeshift router table. It's just a router screwed onto a piece of wood that I mount onto sawhorses.
100%, that works. I've got a piece of metal lying over there somewhere where I can screw it to the bottom of my trim router and then do this with it, where you got a point and the router and you cut discs or something.
Oh, okay.
I've done that a lot. Made a Dalek that way many years ago.
Ralph Mork says, I use a cheap belt sander that has a disc on the side, works great for metal, not sure about foam though.
That's pretty much what I got. I have an old Ryobi model. The table for the disc on the side is missing, but it's just a 3 inch? It looks like a 3 inch belt sander. Oh, no, it says 4 inch on it. 4 inch. So it's 4 inch wide belt sander.
This one, we got the bigger disc with the table.
Yeah. Yeah, I went out and bought the 12 inch disc sander.
A belt sander would be nice to have. I actually don't have one. I have an oscillating sander.
Okay.
But the belt sander would be nice.
One of the things I've been thinking about is a spindle sander. I know.
That's what I have, a spindle sander.
The disc in the center? Yeah. So I've been thinking about that. Especially with the cutouts on the legs, the leg tips.
Yeah, that's what I used on these.
That is what you use on those?
Yeah. After I made these pieces, I used my spindle sander for these parts.
Okay, don't have it up where the camera can see it too.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's black, but
yeah, it's black unfortunately. But the extra long pips in the side of the legs, the Lego minifigs, have these curved cutouts. And so yeah, using what, like a 1 inch diameter drum
something like that. Which
Something
camera is
like
that?
Yeah, just hit cut.
Okay.
You're ready to go. There it is.
So these parts right here, where it's curved, I use my spindle sander there after I made the cylinders for these pieces. And then the flats, I just use my belt sander. I mean, no, my okay, tools mixed up. Try not to confuse you guys. I use my wow, I'm brain farting.
It's 2 hours. It's 3 hours for us. It's okay.
I use my bandsaw.
Bandsaw.
Yeah.
There it is.
I have a brain, I swear.
It's in a jar at home. I keep it safe.
Yeah.
If I don't use it, it's minty fresh.
I have a brain, it's just like how much it's working,
Right.
what it's doing. Marvel guy Odin, can you give any tips on how to use a rotary tool on foam?
Yeah.
For example, rounding off edges?
Number one, wear a dust mask.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a really bad example, but I'm also. It's worse. I'm on camera.
Yeah.
No, if you can do it a lot, wear a dust mask. Dust collection's really good. I know Steve has a fan set up with a filter, air filter taped to it, so it sucks all the dust away from him. But the big one, I've got a sanding drum. When you turn it on, it's running in a particular direction, right? It's just spinning, and so when I sand on something, I'm going in the direction it's going, so it's like a tire hitting the ground and running along. You can go the other way, but foam is usually so soft that it'll actually grab and dig, and you end up with a divot you can't get rid of. So I just lightly go along what I want to get rid of, let it run along it a lot. In this case, I'm trying to round off the minifig piece, so I'm sort of rotating that as I go.
And then there's also the grit that your sanding drum is. He's using a finer grit than I used. I think mine's like either 60 or 80.
Oh, yeah, I got the 120 or the 200.
So that also depends how much force you're putting on it. You don't really need to put too much force onto it. You know, like he's just like touching it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to have that control, so because you don't want to take too much off. Unless you're really good and you know how much you want off, you can do that. But you know, you just want to take your time with it.
The other things to look out for is it's a cylinder, so it's got a. Let me touch it. Don't do this, kids. It's got a hard edge on it, so that hard edge, if you tilt too much, will scar what you're working on, which I don't like. There is actually a bull-nosed. It's kind of a bullet-shaped bit. I like this because I don't get that happening, but this grit is like 600, so it's way too soft for doing a big thing quickly.
Yeah. So sanding drum is used to actually like shape the piece that you're doing. It'll take off a lot of material, but it could leave like a gritty and kind of scarred surface that you don't want. You want it to be smooth, and that's where you would use a grinding stone to smoothen everything out. Because that's what I did on here. This is all grinding stone after the fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably where I'm going to be going next here. So what I got is still lumpy. It's not consistent all the way around because, hey, it's being done by hand. But I'm a lot closer to having a giant minifig made than I was when the stream started.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, I was pretty excited about doing this. Sometimes it gets really hard to be excited about coming down to the shop and doing something when you have to go and do it. So I appreciate that you came by and brought the minifig, and
maybe I should have made another one.
It's all right
for you.
No, it's fine. I should make them too.
Yeah.
Something I've got that I haven't tried yet, but I might with this. I actually went out and bought a hole saw that was pretty much this size.
Okay.
And then I double back taped sandpaper to the wall of it because the teeth of a hole saw is larger than the actual drum. So I'll probably test it on something else first. In order to drill out the pip hole.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. I was thinking that because I do have a set of pole saws. You know, I was thinking of just using that to just
Yeah.
cut that hole out through the neck. I actually did razor knife and rotary tool for this. Yeah. Oh.
You want to do a hit cut? What would be the importance of wearing a dust mask? What's the... I got the black lung from working on foam. Cosplay gave me the black lung. Anyway. So yeah, wear a dust mask. You know, do something for dust collection. I'm being a very bad example. I'm wearing Ryobi safety glasses because they sent them to me, and I've had enough stuff fly at my face that I really prefer to not have that issue. And even though it's really bad in my hands because it's running kind of that way, but it's coming off of a disc, so even though I'm going away from myself, the dust is still kicking up towards me as well. So it's wearing a dust mask, having something for dust collection. It's really a smart thing to do. And no matter what, wear eye protection because anything on a rotary tool is going to break. It's not if it breaks, it's going to break. Sanding drums are a hard paper emery board, just like a nail file, right? But it's that wrapped around a rubber wheel. And as they wear down, that cardboard emery board material comes free and will actually go flying. Mm-hmm. Guess where it goes? So wear eye protection, even with a sanding drum.
Behind the scenes fashion. Hey, Felicia.
Yeah, hey, Felicia.
Dang, that's a lot of dust. I'm sneezing just looking at it.
Yeah, Felicia does not like the EVA dust at all.
It's all synthetic crap.
Yeah, it's lightweight synthetic crap. Mm-hmm. It gets static charged and sticks. Yeah. Okay, so that's as far as I got because of a lot of talking, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I'll get hyper-focused building something, and I think less time goes by than it does. So it's like, I can get that done. Yeah. And then, 5 hours later, it's still not done, and I don't feel like I was screwing around. Yeah. It's just a time dilation of being creative.
And we were chatting quite a bit.
Yeah, we were chatting.
Before we actually got started. So
100% worth it. Yeah. So everyone, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry that my Lego head isn't going to be complete during the stream. I will work on it. I need to work on the chopper leg too, so it's kind of hard to say, I'm going to finish this. It's like, I only have so much Sunday that I can devote to being in the shop, so I really don't think I get to finish this today. He's lumpy over here. Yeah. Yeah, definitely talking about, that's not hard to do, and it's not hard to do, but looking at making 7 of these, right? 8 of these, 10 of these. Yeah, I'm going to cast this. This is 100%. Hey, Joe! By the way, the local Smooth-On guy is named Joe, too, because I know too many Joes. Guy who makes Beyond Geek. Guy who wears the other Gundam cosplay. Guy at Smooth-On. They're all Joe. I've actually already talked to him, so yeah, I'm back to the idea of I want to make a good head. Got to start on that. Mm-hmm. Even if I have to make a second one that's better. I want to make a good head, and I want to cast it, and then can be able to cast more foam heads. And when I do that, it's going to be solid all the way through. Yeah. Right? So I'll end up making a plug that fits in there that just comes out that'll just be the Lego diameter all the way through. Instead of this one being 6 mil wall or 5 mil wall between the two donut pieces. So the stuffing of the Oreo is only 5 mil on the perimeter. It'll just be solid because it's just going to be goo poured, and there you go, whatever.
I'm at like 72 millimeters on this length.
On that length?
I think I tried to aim for 70, but...
I'll let it be most of the way up, because the mini fig heads go almost all the way to the pip.
Yeah, so that should be fine.
Yeah. And then, like, with the Demon Slayer one, I'll have to make a custom pip that's got the hole in it for her. But big deal. This seems soft enough if this was hollow. I guess it's a cardboard, too. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. What helps with keeping it round is I still have the end plugs, the plastic. So I put that in there just to help. I mean, it's not in here, but I just use that to just help keep it round.
Keep it round while you're working.
Because I can still squish the tube.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So, everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for coming over and hanging out today. Dan.
Always.
Much appreciated. I think Dan's going to be at Stockton Con this weekend. So I'll be there. Shop Gremlin will be there. Felicia might be there. I don't know if she's still working on her shoot or not. So next weekend, if you're in the Stockton area, I'll have a booth set up at the Stockton Arena. But that also means it won't be live streaming. I've already talked to Felicia about the weekend after that. She's got something planned, so won't be live streaming. So it's going to be 3 weeks, and then we'll be back with more Ghostbusters, more wires, more whatever the heck it is we're working on. And maybe I'll actually get something happening with the wires and get one or both of them covered with that Epsilon stuff from Smooth On in order to try and make the wire harnesses. As this goes, I will more than likely try and shoot a couple pieces of this. I'm thinking about this while I'm working on it and just throw it out as a short. It won't be, how to do it. It's just like, hey, this, and I made a minifig. Of course,
I have a video on that, so.
Yeah, watch this video. Don't worry about me doing stuff. But anyway, see you all in about 3 weeks, and hopefully before then, my Chopper Missing Leg video, which is the one I'm working on, will be out. So maybe there'll be I'm saying maybe because I don't want to commit, right? Because I'm male and I hate commitment. Maybe there'll be a fully edited video out that you guys get to see beforehand. But
Exciting.
yes. Thank you all for tuning in. Much appreciate your company and interaction.
See you next time.
See you next time. Oh, so enough time spending. Yeah. yeah, Ralphie. As soon as you get the V-hook sent out, Ralph, I'll try and get you your video stuff back. But yeah, it's 3 weeks before Felicia and I come back. So if they arrive during that time, they'll get unboxed on the stream.
Oh, nice. That'd be cool.